I'll be finished on this level, so then I'll turn all it off so I can concentrate properly.
That's
What are you playing?
Doing my dailies on Fortnite, because if I've stored 3 up, so that means if I didn't complete one of them today, I wouldn't get a new one tomorrow.
I'm still so lost with it. I only had a go recently, but it seems pretty good. I
Was
don't
that the
really understand what's
PvE
going
or the PvP?
PvP recently.
All
But
right, yeah, I've got no idea with that. I haven't touched it. I know Collie's been playing it all weekend, and him and his sons have actually been winning games on it.
Oh no, it's crazy. I mean, I've put 100 hours into PUBG and I've not even won one game.
Just because the PUBG people are fucking hardcore, mate.
Wow, and it's a fact that with mouse and keyboard, people are just so good at getting headshots as well. It's just like, oh, I actually suck at games.
It always seems like a cheat, actually. It's almost like, right, move the cursor onto the head and click the right mouse button. It's
Yeah.
like,
but you seen just now with the thing that Dan posted on the Facebook group with the kid that's been sued
oh, yeah, I saw that.
for
Someone
using aimbots. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a bit
that's
of a harsh response.
yeah, that's one of the problems of PC gaming, mate. It's just you do get a lot of cheaters and hackers and stuff.
Well, there's one way to deal with them, but
Well, just ban them all. That's all they do.
I wouldn't know, Mum, because I don't.
But how can you sue a 14-year-old? Seriously.
yeah, we're gonna
And
sue
not being
for-
funny, is it really worth suing someone over a fucking computer game? It's not
Oh,
like
no.
he made a fucking cheat for everyone to use. He was just using it himself.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
We've watched all of that, season 1 and 2.
Season 1 and 2, Leon. Ooh.
What's that?
I don't know.
I finished Stranger Things yesterday.
Oh yeah, how did you like it?
I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was good as the first series, but
Yeah.
I still really liked it.
I've not started that at all.
Oh, so good, man.
Not even giving it a go.
I wouldn't get sucked into like the massive hype, but if you loved all your 80s kids films and stuff like that, it is like a pure homage to it all, basically.
Yeah, that's totally my bag. But yeah, so I got a TV pile of shame just as big as my games.
There's a lot of TV shows I never got around to watching, like Fringe and stuff like that, which apparently got better. And
I think with a lot of things around that time, it got better and then it got really bad and then got better again.
Yeah, we'll have to get ours out of the garage.
yeah, that was the way.
I think it's in the garage.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for Leon and then we'll start.
You're frozen, Mum. So I
Is
can't.
that
Why
on?
is she jumping in as well?
No, she's talking in the background.
All right.
So
You alright, Paul?
Should have got a mic that doesn't pick up background noise, mate.
mate, this mic's too good for its own good. Lols.
All 360 hero XP, fucking spend that all in one place. Jesus.
I think
Oh,
it's on
you're
free.
doing your. Oh.
So, Webby, how does this all work with like the visuals and all that business?
Oh, yeah.
Do I
What do you
have to
mean?
go to Twitch?
Yeah.
Do I go to Twitch to kind of just see what's going on?
Yeah, so if you go to twitch.tv/Mojo Interactive,
Yeah.
you can see the stream.
Hold on.
I would
I
mute
just
it though. Otherwise, it would just be like people talking back at
Feedback.
you.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
was doing that once before, weren't they? I think it was Stunty.
Yeah. 'Cause he's a
Right.
noob. Noobenstein.
I don't know if I can do it all on my phone, so I'll just not bother.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother, mate. I'm just trying to think what games I'm just trying to write down the games I've played because I've not actually played a lot this week. For
I
once.
suppose I got the benefit of never having been on before, so
That's
I got
it, mate.
free license.
That's it.
I'll try not to take up too much time.
That's fine, mate. Time's
Well,
there to be taken
yeah.
up, really. Half the shit I play is a repeat of the week before, anyway.
Yeah. It is indeed, mate. It is indeed. Right, so we're about to start in a second.
I'm all done anyway, gaming, so that's good.
Cool. I've got my show notes, which isn't many games. A little bit of news about loot boxes.
Destiny 2.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about that. I can't remember the fucking thing. Something else has happened. I can't remember now.
We mentioned about the gambling commission or the Belgian whatnots.
Did we mention that
ruling
last
gambling.
week?
Briefly mentioned it last week, didn't we?
Right. Okay. Was that it? There's not been much news this week, is there?
Yeah, it's been pretty light.
There's a couple of rumours floating around, which I'll drop on you a bit later on, by two of the people on the internet that are pretty good when it comes to leaks. A guy called
Okay.
Shinobi something and another guy called Nibellion. Something
Nibellion.
like- But yeah, they usually hear stuff on the grapevine just before shows and things, and like I'd say they're about sort of like 60 to 70% right sometimes,
Okay.
which is pretty good.
30% of the time, they're right all the time.
Okay, we
The
ready?
Sex Panthers of the internet world. Anyway.
So we'll go me, Darren, Ruski.
All right.
No
Are you
worries.
ready? Are we steady? I better start recording, I suppose. Oh, what's going on here? Right, ready?
Right.
And 3, and 2, and 1. Hello, and welcome to Mojo Radio, episode 300 and... No, that's wrong. We'll start again.
400 and
I know, yeah. I just looked at my this happens every week, Ruski. I'll never get it right first go. Right, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to Mojo Radio, episode 440 for Monday, the 27th of November 2017. I'm your host, Mark Webb, Gamertag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby317, and joining me today is...
We briefly went back in time and now we're back in the future once again. It's Sensei Switch.
I totally didn't prepare anything to say at this point because I totally forgot it happened. It's Rooski Doo.
Ruski
Hello.
Doo. So we are keeping with our promise of having community members on.
Woo!
And our first community member for the show, Ruski Doo. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
So some of you may know Ruski from his Elite Dangerous videos.
Or
Yeah, no one
singing at the
watches
top
them,
of
though.
his voice at Eurogamer a few years ago.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Fun
you
times
mentioned
indeed.
you mentioned them videos, but I'm pretty sure no one's watched them. So
Well, I
pretty
have. That's all that matters.
thanks, mate.
That's all right. So, are you still into playing a lot of Elite Dangerous?
I'm giving it a bit of a rest at the moment. I'll get onto that when I get to my games played section. But yeah, it's still something that I play, but I'm onto a lot of other things at the moment. So
Oh yeah, I picked up in the Steam sale. Even
Yeah,
though
I'll
I've already got it on Xbox, but it was too cheap to pass up on Steam.
Now you need to go balls deep and get yourself one of them fancy flight stick things for it.
Wow.
funny you
Fun-
should say that.
Funny you should say that. I did order one off Amazon, and then I mentioned it in the Discord, and Ruski was like, "Oh, I've got a spare one." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'll buy that off you and send the Amazon one back."
Yeah,
Nice.
you got to wait for some retard to send it to you, though.
Yeah, hurry up. I'm getting lonely.
Alright.
I need to
Alright.
play. Yeah, so I have actually played a little bit of it on the PC, and a little bit of other PC-related shenanigans have been happening for me this past week, which I will mention very quickly before all you console gamers get really pissed off with me. New graphics card has been installed, and a new monitor has been purchased and is currently being used.
Hey,
So,
Nice.
out on an Amazon deal, 1440p monitor, 165 hertz G-Sync monitor, which basically means it can get up to 165 FPS, and I won't get any frame skipping because it's got G-Sync, so the graphics card and the monitor work together to have the frames sync in perfect alignment.
In harmony.
Yes. I'll tell you what, right? It's amazing. I'm loving it, man. It's just like all my games now just look so good. Especially because the monitor I had before was only a cheapy £100 monitor.
Right.
And it's made such a massive difference. So playing it, obviously, the extra resolution. Obviously, I'm sitting really close to the screen because it's on a desk, 24-inch monitor. And like, so the extra resolution has made a difference, but the biggest difference is the frame rate for me, because obviously I was going to gaming at 60 FPS, and now I'm gaming at over 100 on most games, and it's just like smooth as silk, which is great for games like Destiny and Counter-Strike and stuff.
Yeah, can I just ask with that? There's got to be a point at which your eyes can't tell.
Oh yeah,
frames
definitely,
apart.
yeah.
The same with the pixel count, and that's why a lot of some phones now have what are known as retina displays, because your eyes can't physically see any more detail than what is displayed on that screen.
Yeah. So obviously, you can get 4K monitors on PC, but even the most beefy graphics cards still struggle at 4K. So I thought, you know what, 1440p seems to be that sweet spot for a smallish monitor. I don't think any higher resolution would really make a difference on a monitor this size. But yeah, all the games are running great and really enjoying it.
Good
Played a few games on that. Tested out The Witcher 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, Elite Dangerous, The Evil Within 2, and all of them look pucker, mate. Absolutely pucker. Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
so I'm really happy with it, and obviously if I do get an Xbox One X at some point in the future, the Xbox One X is compatible with 1440p monitors as well. So, yeah, it's great. It's awesome. So
Right.
Frosty Points, Rob wants to know how much the monitor was. So Amazon, it's £480 for this monitor.
Wow.
I paid.
Yeah.
I got it on Amazon Warehouse. Open box on a really good deal, £260.
Is that Amazon Warehouse? Is that
Cool.
Amazon back of a lorry?
Yeah, pretty much was what people just like open box
It's
or returns and stuff like that. So yeah, really happy with it. It's great. It's really made a big difference. It really has. So I'm well happy with it.
It makes me think, right? Because I was looking in the Black Friday sales, and I was thinking about, I'm looking for a 4K telly because I'm looking to make the move to.
I think
Xbox
everyone
One
wants it
X.
Black Friday.
There was
Where's the
virtually nothing on.
4K?
So
There's virtually nothing on. But then I thought, if you get a big monitor, surely if that's designed for gaming, isn't that a better thing to buy? You won't get it as big, but.
It depends if you're console or PC gaming. Obviously, monitors are designed for gaming, aren't they? So they're always going to be better than TVs they're always going to have a sharper picture.
A
but
friend of mine has a monitor, will use PlayStation sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, if I play my Xbox One or my PS4 on a monitor, the games automatically look better on that than my TV as well. But the prices, you can get like a 50-inch 4K TV for under £400, or you can get a 24-inch monitor. You know what I mean? It's so it really depends. I mean, a monitor is designed obviously to be right in front of your face, so you need that extra clarity really, whereas a TV is sitting quite far away. I mean, I'm quite lucky with my front room setup where my consoles and my PC are near my monitor, so I can just plug them all in as and when I want to play. So
I will briefly say quickly, if you are after a cheap 4K television, make sure if it's for obviously gaming on the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, that it's the right HDR compatible for those systems. So I think it's the HDR that's used after April last year. I think it is HDR 10 and above.
Right. Okay. Yeah, man. There's nothing that caught my eye.
No, I mean, it's one of the questions we had on our Facebook group is, what did you buy on the Black Friday sales? I bought 0 games. I just Nothing appeals to me. I did buy an SD card for my Switch though.
Okay. Did you not have one before?
No, no. But I thought I need one because I'm going to start
I
downloading
think
games
it's
at
a
some
must,
point.
isn't it?
Yeah. What else? That's it that I can think of. A dash cam for the car. That's nothing gaming related. Obviously, because I got the monitor before the sale, those sales, Black Friday sales are on, sort of thing. Super
I will
awesome
say
stuff.
a lot of the good sales this year actually started before Black Friday. It was like a couple of days before.
I still don't understand Black Friday because it's never really been a thing until 4 or 5 years ago. Like we
Yeah.
kind of imported it over from America, and now the whole world seems to just be very American with this Black Friday thing. It's strange. I don't really understand it.
It's any excuse for a sale, though, isn't it? Really?
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say don't do it because anything cheap is always good for us.
Yeah, but they just sell shit. Like I went onto Amazon thinking, oh yeah, I might be able to pick something up half decent. It's all a load of bullshit.
£2
is.
off. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
But you have that
Exactly.
Cyber Monday as well, don't you? Which is like
Yeah.
a few
Well,
days later thing.
That's today, isn't it?
Yeah,
so-
I have to say though, I mean, there's been some good deals out there. Like Wolfenstein was 25 quid,
Yeah.
and so
Bargain.
was Evil Within 2,
Mm-hmm.
which is really really good bargain because they're both great games. The Witcher 3 on Steam was like 8 quid with all the DLC.
That is a bargain.
I think
is
that's
an
about
absolute
it.
steal.
Yeah.
Nothing else really that I can think of that really stood out to me. So, yes. Anyway, Ruski, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us why you started listening to Mojo, how long you've been listening to Mojo, what got you into gaming, what games you like to play.
Job
Oh.
interview, mate.
Oh, no,
yeah.
well, we need to find out about our community members. That's important.
It's worth asking the questions. I'm a long-term gamer. Back to the days of the Amstrad CPC. I don't know if anyone had one of them.
You old bastard.
No, I didn't, but I know exactly what you're on about.
Yeah, the one with the coloured keys. So I've been gaming since then, on and off. Worked up through Atari, through the Atari days, Amiga. First console I got was a Dreamcast.
Awesome.
Wow, it took a while to jump on the consoles.
So it took a little bit of a while. All my mates had like Mega Drives and Super NESs. I missed that. The NES, missed all those things. Jumped in when I went to uni. Well, it's because I had my own income then, didn't I? But all borrowed, but still could spend it on what I wanted. Got a Dreamcast, and then fell in love with console gaming. PS2, Xbox 360, and where I am now on the Xbox One. So yeah.
Are you just an Xbox One gamer then?
I am. Mobile gaming on the way into work, but there's nothing around that's any good.
Have you been crossing those animals?
Same old shit. No, I haven't actually. That's something I've never tried. Animal Crossing. But
All right. Out on mobile now, currently, according to my Twitter feed, that's just constantly full of people talking about it.
Really.
Yeah.
I've been listening to 360 Gamecast Mojo. About 5-6 years now, maybe.
Old school.
I was brought into it. There's a guy that I used to work with, Cromfet. He listens. So,
yeah. I
Hello,
recognise
Adam.
the
How
name.
you doing? He just mentioned it one day. He was like, "Oh, if you like podcasts, give them a listen. It's just like your mates talking down the pub about games." I was like, "Sweet, okay, give it a go." And I've been listening ever since.
And now I've ruined the whole thing by talking about PC loads and losing all the listeners.
Oh, you're so harsh on yourself. So games I want to play, or games I like to play. As you know, I'm massively into Elite, so kind of sandbox games are pretty good for me. Mixed with the sci-fi, I'm a fan of sci-fi, but That was my main jam. I like action games. You know, I'm a big fan of the Rockstar games.
Like Rockstar's Table Tennis.
Rockstar's table tennis. Actually, I got another mate that I used to work with. He doesn't listen to this. So I should really work on that. But we've got this thing. We both had an Xbox 360, and he bought table tennis. Found out it was like the shittest game in the world, so he lent it to me. I played it. Shittest game in the world. So now we have this thing where every time we meet, and it's not very often anymore, or otherwise, we've got to get the copy of table tennis back to the other person, because I don't want it in my house. He doesn't want it in his house. So we're just kind of like passing it backwards and forwards. I posted it to him in the past.
Leave it under his front doorstep and stuff. What?
Yeah, random nights out, it'd just be like, hey mate, you want this?
That's so random.
Yeah, so Terry, if you ever listen to this, you're going to get it back in soon. But yeah, I mean, I will play anything going really, but yeah, it's usually got to be good though, because I usually wait for reviews to hear stuff coming out, because I've been bitten in the past with buying stuff that I think is going to be great and actually turns out to be bobbins. So
We've all done that.
yeah, and now
all done
games are more of an investment, I feel, with other things going on in life and growing up and kids and all that stuff.
Getting old
Yeah,
and boring.
gotta make sure they're the right one. Yeah, I guess. So yeah, that's me pretty much.
Is that it? Is that it? That was a very short introduction.
Oh, you want more? Okay.
We want your life story, mate.
That's fine, mate. If you can't think of anything else, it's fine.
You ask any questions as we go along. Yeah, do it. I'm not too good off the top of my head.
So, I have a question for you.
Go on.
What's your thoughts on loot boxes?
I think loot boxes are a fucking blight on gaming at the moment. I think it's a sign of the state of gaming at the moment and the greed of all these developers and publishers that want their piece of the pie, want to have their cake and eat it. So
Yeah.
a charge for a game, then charge more once you've bought the game. I mean, that's unrivaled greed.
But
I mean,
I remember saying this about season passes when they first come out. They kind of have now become a staple in most games.
Yeah, it's buying a game and then double dipping into your pocket to.
Yeah.
So you're paying for more content, whereas originally these games would be released as a finished product, as a whole thing.
Yeah.
I can buy that. I can buy into that if it's something that they're working on post release of the original game. If it's something they've said we're still working on this and we're going through it. But it seems now that it's already stuff that they've got almost done, and it's just an excuse to get additional.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't like loot boxes. Apart from, some games do it right. So.
Yeah.
So I would say Overwatch is a prime example. You don't pay for any of that shit, as far as I'm aware. You just play the game, and you get a loot box for every level that you attain, and you get cosmetic stuff. You just play the game, and you're getting stuff. You're like, yeah, that's cool, man. I'll carry on playing, and I'll get a drop every now and again. That's cool. But then, obviously, you get games like Star Wars, prime example. You get loot boxes that you then pay for to give you an unfair advantage in the actual gameplay, and that's where it crosses the line, I think. And it kind of all started, I think, with kind of like CSGO and the skins and shit like that, getting your random...
Well, that's just cosmetic, because CSGO's like blatantly competitive, so they could never have any sort of advantageous stuff given away in that.
Yeah, I totally get that with the cosmetic angle. But I think the problem is that after that, and the developers probably saw the publishers probably saw that this is work. People are really into this kind of thing in Overwatch. How can we monetize that?
Yeah,
and that's where it gets insidious. I mean, even even before, I guess, the advantage in games, and that's where I feel EA have kind of pushed it over the boundaries by, selling on these epic cards, which actually improve your character in game, which means you can just buy them or buy enough loot boxes to get the epic cards. And as far as I know, once you've got them, you keep them. It's not like burn up. They're not just single use things.
Oh, yeah, burn use, yeah.
So yeah, that's you just pay to advance quicker. Probably get bored of the game quicker, because once you're beating everyone else, surely that doesn't become fun. But for everyone else, someone has paid however much to just do better in the game.
It's just strange though, because it's like the most popular multiplayer game, which is PUBG. It's like the complete opposite of all these other games. You buy the game and that's it, and then you don't even level up as you progress. There's no progression. It's like every game's brand new, and you got to pick up the weapons randomly on the floor and shoot people. And that's kind of like what the old multiplayer games, like if you remember GoldenEye is a prime example. You get in the game, oh fuck, I better pick up a gun off the floor and kill my enemies.
Like Quake.
Yeah, and and Quake Champions is a recent release on PC, which does exactly the same thing again. And that's just fun. I think for a lot of games now, that kind of fun is disappearing.
Yeah. You've got to think as well that gaming now is the biggest form of media in the world. It makes more money than any other form. You think Justice League came out this past weekend, it made like 95 million in its opening weekend.
Wow.
The new COD, I think, made 500 million in a couple of days.
What? Yeah, when you put it in perspective.
It is big money. So some of these publishers are like, oh, it costs like 100 million or something to make a game and stuff, but yet some of these games make back 4 or 5 times that easy.
Yeah, exactly. They're crying into their ultimate team earnings.
Big time.
It's just like trying to do things to appease the shareholders. And to be fair, all these people that are making all the real money off of all these, they're not fucking gamers anyway.
Yeah, and they probably don't care about the content of the game.
They just want to make money. It's just a business to them. They couldn't care less. I mean, like I've said before, a lot of business is cutthroat and stuff, and you've got to be to some sort of aspect to survive anyway. But there is just taking it that little bit too far, and I think that's what people saw with Battlefront. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, basically, and just set all this shit in motion. And now anyone who puts anything slightly controversial like that in any of their games in the future, they're going to have people looking at them through a fucking magnifying glass, like, doing here, mate, sort of thing. So they haven't just fucked themselves for it. They've basically jeopardised other publishers that might have utilised that in a much better form. Like, there have been too many that have been, like, horrifically bad, but yeah, Star Wars is one of the first that I can think of where it did actually affect the gameplay and basically gave people paid advantages in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, as to whether loot boxes are gambling, I know that there was this kind of investigation by the Belgian Gaming Commission or whoever they were, and they returned the verdict that it's gambling. I think the loophole that the companies are going to fall back on is the fact that you're paying money to get a random chance of getting something good, but regardless of whether you get something good, you get something. Therefore, it's not gambling. That's like a tombola. When you go to like village fates, sorry, I'm a country boy. You go to your village fates, and then you pay to get a ticket, and you use your ticket to dig your hand in the tombola, the spinning thing with loads of sawdust inside. You pick out a ticket.
Fucking hell, mate. And you right back. Jesus, I remember that.
Yeah, you pick a ticket out, and then you get a prize. The prize might be shit and worth less than the price you paid to enter, but at least you're getting something. I think that's probably what they're going to get at. But at the end of the day, it's the kind of behavioural model of it. I feel
That's a slippery slope, though, because if they allow that to happen, couldn't you technically have some bloke stood next to a slot machine in Vegas and going, "Oh well, it's not really gambling because win or lose, I'll give them like a blackjack or a licorice all sort."
Yeah, pretty much. It's just the psychology of it is, and don't forget that a lot of the people playing these games are kids who, will be on maybe their parents' kind of Xbox Live account, PSN account, whatever, and just kind of like rolling for these things. You've seen it so many times with FIFA. Like kids have run up massive credit card bills of their parents because they keep buying these card packs for
same
FIFA.
things, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have no control of their impulses. So, it's kind of breeding this psychology of throw money into these computer games and you'll get something back. And
especially when the game's showing you a bit of thigh all the time, you know what I mean? Like, a bit more lads, come on.
Yeah, and the thrill of getting something that you really want. I mean, I've had that before,
Oh, yeah,
you unlock something random and it's like, oh, that's great. I want more of that. And then it just breeds throwing money at this thing and mainly getting shit. So, yeah.
I mean, microtransactions, although they are a slight blight, I don't mind them in the aspect of what you're getting.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like, I want that, I'm going to buy it. Not, I really want that, I'm going to constantly fucking roll the dice and hope I get lucky and get it.
Yeah.
That's when I fucking get pissed off because my luck is shit and I very rarely ever get what I fucking want. And especially, it's made even worse and even more egregious in certain games that only have that item available for a set period of time. So it's like, you got to get lucky for it, boys, within this time limit or it's gone forever. That type of business can fuck itself. I cannot abide that at all. That is bullshit.
But invariably, I don't know, this is probably bullshit, but later on, that piece of gear or piece of loot will come back. It will reappear. So it wasn't limited at all. It's kind of like
sometimes some do actually completely disappear. There was one of the most egregious examples is there's a mobile phone game in Japan called Grand Blue Fantasy, which is basically completely based on this gacha, like loot box type of randomness thing. And they had like every Christmas or something, they used to have events in it to get unique characters. And then people actually figured out that if you didn't get a certain character rolled in one of the year's events, you couldn't even roll to get this unique character in the event the year after or something. Bollocks.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like proper shafting people. And people were spending like hundreds and thousands of like dollars or yen or whatever it was on it. And they actually got taken to task over from like the government, I think, Adam, for that.
Wow.
Told to turn it down. But you've got to watch it with some of these companies because they will use every slimy tactic possible to try and get more out of people.
It's pretty much like the whole COD Modern Warfare remastered, though, isn't it? That kind of thing. It's not loot boxes, but they said, the only way to get this is to buy our shitty game, and you get it as a kind of pre-order bonus. And then a couple of months down the line, they release it on its own.
Oh, you knew that they would do that eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just shitty marketing.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, though, like, I don't mind the free-to-play model. You get a game for free. Take Warframe as a prime example. That is a fucking quality game. And, you only need to spend money in that if you want, like, different kind of armor sets and stuff, You don't really have to spend money on it, but because it's free, you're like, I don't mind spending a $5.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. Companies that do it right will always generally get, I know it's usually still a small percent, but will always get the occasional people that are like, you know what? I've had so much fun with your game, I don't mind slinging you like £10, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
on something or other. Give you something back for the enjoyment I've had, because there's certain free to play games I've actually played for longer and had slightly more enjoyment of than I've had with a full price release. That was a letdown in the end, in my opinion.
yeah. I think that in the future they've got to really think which path they want to take it down. Either you charge full price for the game and then minimal spend after that, or have the balls to actually release one of your big games, have these microtransactions, which will probably earn you money, far into the future, but just make it free to play. I
Yeah.
can't, I can't imagine anyone having the balls to say, right, here's the new Battlefield. How about it? It's free. You give you maybe no single player campaign, but you got your multiplayer. Go for it. But you can
And that
buy
would have, I
these
still
skins.
think that would still have made them a shitload of money if they'd have done that.
Yeah, but they need to choose one or the other. They can't charge for a game and then charge for the microtransactions as well. So, but then Elite being one of my top games for the last couple of years. I did pay for the game. I paid for it on Game Preview, so I probably spent 25 quid on it at launch. I've sunk far more than that into in-game currency just to buy cosmetic stuff.
Wow.
But I've put almost 1,000 hours into it, so you know what I mean.
So tell us,
game-
like, what pulls you into Elite Dangerous so much? I mean, it is like, I find the game quite relaxing, just cruising around space from station to station. But I've not really seen how much more there is to do apart from just being an international bloody delivery man. You know what I mean?
Intergalactic, mate. So yeah, there's a whole different. Well, there's 3 different branches of Elite. These 3 avenues, which is combat, it's exploration, and it's trading. So one of the things you get into first is your trading. So you're picking up missions, taking item A to spaceport B, and you drop that off, and you get some credits in the meantime. You also get some points XP towards your trade Elite. So you can do that, and you can do missions for people. You can just literally play the market, which is stock brokers in space. You find something where goods are really cheap, you sell them where they're really expensive, you make a profit, and all that profit gets turned into XP for your trade Elite. That's probably the most boring of the 3. Actually, might not be. Exploration, basically, you if you equip your ship right, you can go off out into vast expanses of space. The area of inhabited space is so tiny in the game. If you look at the galactic view, there's a whole lot of unexplored systems out there. They're all kind of generated randomly using this Stellar Forge program, which kind of takes real world physics, I guess. Not too hot on that, but they generate random star systems, and designs. Once you get outside of inhabited space, if you scan these new worlds that you come across, and then return back to a station in inhabited space, you sell the data, and that goes towards your exploration points. That is maybe a little bit boring to some, because you don't have much interaction once you get outside the inhabited area. But there are some really, really nice sites that you can go and see. There's like little distant nebula that you can jump across to, and they've got some really, really fucking nice visuals. When you get close to a nebula, there's black holes, there's neutron stars, which are they kind of give you other things to kind of look for. You sell that data and you make money. And then obviously combat, you kit your ship out with guns, shields, and you go shooting people. You get bounties for people who have got bounties on their heads. You can go to these war zones, pick a side, and just fighting these all-out war zones where it might be like 10 on 10. So you can get some pretty good space battles. You can get these massive federal ships or imperial ships jumping into the fight as well, which is a sight to see. It's like a Star Wars Star Destroyer kind of just appearing out of nowhere and then just joining in the battle. It's pretty epic. So yeah, I mean, what draws me in is there's always that carrot. So I've got my exploration elite in the game, so I've done all the exploring I need to do. So I don't necessarily have to do any more of that because I can't get any higher ranked in it. But there's always the next thing. There's like the Federation and the Empire. They're the two of the three main factions, and with each of those two, they have got their own ships. So you can do jobs rank for factions aligned with either the Federation or the Empire, and get rank with the Federal Army, Imperial Army. Once you get to certain ranks, you're then eligible to buy new ships. So each of them's got like 3 of their own special ships. So there's always that to work towards. You know, you can work on your Federal rank, you can work on your Empire rank, and you can do that by bounty hunting. You can do that by doing assassination missions. You can do that by planetary scan missions. As long as, you know, you're kind of working alongside the Federation or the Empire. So, you know, there is... I don't talk it up massively, but there's always something to be cracking on with. So, yeah, that's what keeps me coming back. And most recently, the latest update with it, there's, you know, since it's launched, they've had this landing on planets. So you're able to actually, to some planets, just go down, land on the surface, get your little buggy out, drive around your moon buggy, picking up resources and scanning places of interest. So that's all come along, and then they've got ship-launched fighters as well. So you can, in the bigger ships, you can get these little hangars and send out a drone to help you in combat. They've introduced engineers. Engineers basically guys that you learn about after doing certain in-game tasks. Like for example, if you hand in a certain value of bounty vouchers, he will appear on your map and say, "Oh, there's this guy. Here's what you need to do to unlock him." So then you go and meet the engineer, and then he's then able to craft you better weapons. So you take your cannons, multi-cannons or something, for example, give him some resources, and then he will boost an aspect of that gun. So you can like put a faster rate of fire on them or make them do more damage, but it's always at the cost of something else. So it's a pretty good kind of trade-off system. So you can get you can engineer your weapons or your shields or your boosters and all this kind of stuff. So there's always that as well. There's always, you want to improve your ship to be that extra bit better.
Fair. Have you played any of Star Citizen, the alpha?
I have not. No, I've seen videos of it, and it looks amazing. But I think at the moment that's all.
Yeah, I mean, great. I've got the alpha, and there's not a lot of content, but I think if and when it actually comes out, I think it will take Elite's glory.
Potentially, yeah. It looks amazing, and it looks as if it's got that potential of being everything that Elite aspires to be. But I guess that, you know, for me, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see if it does. Is along the line that is, and I suppose the last thing with Elite, the most recent thing, is these aliens have appeared in the galaxy. I've not really given much time to them. I'm waiting for the guys, Bolo and Clarky and Spartan 360, to get a time where we can all meet up and have a pop at these little flower things.
Frosty Points Rob asks you a question. Is the core
Yep.
game good enough? It's $8.99 on Steam, or do you need the add-ons?
I would say the add-ons are pretty much essential. There's only one additional purchase that's necessary, and that's the season pass. That is the expansion that allows you to land on planets. That's the
Yep.
one that unlocks the engineers. That's the one that, if you've got that, then you can do these ship-launched fighters. You'll be more effective against the aliens. And I think the aliens are part of the add-on pass as well,
Okay.
to be honest. So, yeah, I would say you need Horizons as well. But
Fair. I mean, I think the whole lot together is still pretty cheap on Steam. It's under 20 quid, so...
yeah, and like I say, I've put almost 1,000 hours in, so there's got to be something that keeps people going back. I mean, Spartan's done almost double that.
Wow.
It feels that itch, doesn't it? Of like you want to be your own Picard or Shatner or whatever, and go out on your ship exploring. And
yeah.
The only other game that I'd say is just as in depth that I can honestly think of is oh God, someone help me out. The game which has been going for ages and ages with like actual real world economy stuff going on in it.
Oh, Eve Online.
Eve Online, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Well,
Eve though is a bit like having a second job because I've tried it, and it's too much dedication, mate. It really is. Plus, it's got a monthly fee, and
there is a free-to-play version of it now, though.
Yeah, but if you do it free to play, you can't train your skills. So you really do need to pay still. To be honest.
It's basically like the sample drug before you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's enough about Elite Dangerous, I think.
All right.
I think we've kind of covered all those bases there. I know Darren wanted to mention something about Destiny 2 in his news.
Oh, right, yeah. Just a couple of things. Recently this week, it's actually come out that Activision and Bungie have been throttling people's XP without them realising on Destiny 2.
What?
So the amount of XP you were apparently getting from like the end game stuff, like certain events that you could repeat quickly to get XP, it was telling you were getting that XP, but in theory you were getting like 50% of it, or sometimes 75%, 25% of it. So they were sort of stopping you earning too much XP too quickly because they want to funnel you down there. Oh, you can buy the bright engrams with real world currency rather than grind them out daily with XP.
So it works really weird because once you hit level 20, you still like level up, like your level XP bar like builds up over and over again, and every time it fills up.
Like sort of a thing, isn't
yeah,
it?
so you get these bright engrams, and then you just get, I would say, a load of pointless shit. Like, oh, a legendary spaceship for your loading screen. Oh, that's so cool, dude. Like, really, if you're gonna pay for that, you're a fucking mug. It is pointless shit. It's nice to get, like, if you're getting it, every time you level up your XP bar or whatever, but it's like, oh yeah, that's cool. There's nothing to get excited about,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Destiny this past week on PC. And I'm nearly up to fucking hell. It takes ages to like get your gear level up on this game. I think I'm like gear 250 or something now. I got up to 300 on the PlayStation 4. It seems to be taking quite a long time, but I do feel that you really need friends to play with on this game, because I've been going on it on my own and just just meeting up with randoms and doing the public events and stuff, but it just doesn't feel as cohesive. If that makes sense, you need to have it, play it with friends. So,
and from what I'm hearing, it's dropped off massively.
Oh yeah, I mean it's they've pushed out a free to play demo. I think it's coming out tomorrow.
No way.
Yeah, I think it has dropped off massively, and it's been heavily discounted already as well. I kind of regret buying it on my PC now because I bought it with the season pass and all that. I think I paid like 70
Yeah.
quid.
I think
Well,
overall they have said that it hasn't made as much money as the first game did.
I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Like the campaign is great, and there's a lot of content to do. I mean, I haven't even touched the side missions on the PC version yet, but I kind of when I played on the PS4, I had a core couple of people that I was doing it with, like Phil and other random people on my friends list on the PlayStation. But on the PC, the only person I know that's got it is Wes. And because of our time differences, it's quite hard for us to get together. So, and he's kind of at that point now where he's just like, well, we need to get a raid group together, but that's 6 people, and we've only got the 2 of us, So,
Destiny.
what's that, mate? Sorry,
I said Sly's going to be cursing you because he's got it on PC as well, isn't he?
has he? No, I don't think he picked up in the end.
Oh, did he not?
No,
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't. No, he made the wise decision.
Ah. Fair enough.
And I don't know what I'm going to do because, well, my baby's due. Well, the baby's definitely coming on the 7th of December now.
Okay.
He's coming a couple of weeks early. The hospital were making sure of that.
That's
So
like less than 2 weeks away, mate.
Yep, so my online gaming is probably going to drop out considerably. And so I think Destiny 2 is probably not going to be played. So I think, well, I've lined up a shitload of single player games to play instead. So I've made a massive list of single player games that'll probably keep me going for the next couple of years at least. So my online presence will probably be non-existent for a while, I think, unless it's a quick game of PUBG or something. I think the long grinding sessions on games like Destiny and Final Fantasy 14 are coming to an end, unfortunately.
Well, I think sadly that's an inevitability. God, I can't say that word. But it's only, you just got to bear in mind it's only temporary.
Yeah.
It's only temporary. When my kid was born almost 2 years ago, the only thing that got me through was gaming-wise was a bit of Elite here and there. I could just pick it up, put it down, nap time, and Sherlock Holmes, the original Sherlock Holmes one. Just do a little bit of a case, and then just put it down again.
That's one of the reasons why I picked up the Switch, because it's like you can play even like Zelda or Mario, and then you can just like press the button to put it to sleep mode, and then just pick up and carry on later. So that's kind of the perfect machine, to be honest. So that's pretty cool.
The Destiny thing, it seems, I know obviously a lot of the actual fans of the game and the series themselves are a bit sort of disappointed with what they've got so far. But I feel there's a lot of games companies out there that make these sort of like weird sort of pseudo MMO type experiences, but don't expect them to get to the end of it quickly. It's almost like giving a child a chocolate egg in Easter and saying, "Take that easy, son." Sort of a thing, and then like a couple of hours later, they're like, "I'm done. I want more. I want more. I want more. I want more." And eventually, there isn't going to be more, and everyone's done everything. And then you've got certain companies that'll be like, "Oh shit, we didn't have any actual like content to release for another like months to come." You know what I mean? So like people get bored and, like you say, drop off. And I don't think this has helped with people either. This revelation about them throttling the XP.
No, I mean that's
people and stuff.
I guess that's one of the flip sides of what I was saying earlier. These companies having additional content ready to go out the box. It's not good when you have to pay for it, but certainly for a game like Destiny, where the first one it had a pretty shaky start, and it didn't really take off, as far as I know, until The Taken King came out, and that was a few months down the line. But these companies having these expansions ready to go for something like Destiny, I think, is probably a good move. It would be ideal if you didn't have to pay for it, but it saves people kind of hitting the top level or hitting the end game and then just spinning their wheels doing dailies and whatnot just until new missions or new whatever's come out.
I mean, like there's other games as well coming out, especially like in fighting games generally these days to a certain degree. There's like that Dragon Ball Fighters or Fighter Z or whatever you want to call it that's due out sort of like early next year. They've already announced a bunch of the DLC characters and the game's not even out. And it's like, put them in the fucking game then.
Yeah, taking the
Don't be a
piss.
fucking bunch of dickheads. Like, it's all right to announce things coming soon or whatever, but don't just go like, oh, here's a load of the characters. Oh no, they're not in the game. They're the season pass, mate. You what?
Yeah, that's frustrating.
I get pissed off with that. I really do. But yeah, another couple of rumours from some sort of sources on Twitter that, like I was saying earlier, are sort of like pretty reliable occasionally with some of the stuff that they find that's sort of like leaked. Is apparently there's going to be some announcements from like Bandai Namco.
Okay.
At the beginning of December, and one of the things that's apparently people are saying is a new Soul Calibur.
Oh, cool. I mean, I'm not really into my fighting games, but yeah, Soul Calibur's cool.
I like Soul Calibur, to be honest, and the last one sort of didn't do very well, I don't think. So I'm quite surprised that there's a new one. What's even more surprising is the rumoured platforms that it's coming out on, which doesn't really make sense. PC, Switch, PS4.
Ah, okay.
No X, which wouldn't make any sense, because why would you purposely leave one out? If you're going to put it on the Switch, you can bloody well stick it on the Xbox as well. What are you doing?
Very strange.
Yeah, weird.
And one of the rumours I saw today, this is literally the take it with a pinch of salt. There's been a lot of rumours recently that we're getting a new Devil May Cry at some point.
Ooh.
And today's rumour is it's going to be sooner rather than later, and that Sony is funding the project.
Wow.
So there's the possibility of it being a PlayStation exclusive.
Cool stuff.
Well,
Again,
are they the same ones that rebooted it recently anyway?
No, I think this is going back to Capcom, which is a shame because like people are probably going to start screaming now. But DMC was my favourite Devil May Cry. Like Ninja Theory's Devil May Cry is my favourite of the lot that they've done, because although the combat and everything was cool in the old games and everything, and it had a nice styling to it, I liked what Ninja Theory did with it. I know a lot of people were pissed off because it's like, oh, he's a bit emo, he hasn't got the white hair, it's not the right Dante. But they actually had character to them.
Right.
And stuff, and I thought the storytelling was done pretty well and everything. And again, there's people that are obviously disagreeing, but that's why it's cool to discuss things, because everyone's got different tastes. Yeah.
I never played the Redux.
Yeah, I mean, we heard last year around this same period, people like, oh, there's going to be a new Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm telling you, it's coming, and then we got one, but it wasn't exactly what we really wanted. Because it ended up being Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which even the people that like it generally just say, oh, it's all right, sort of a thing, like nothing special.
It's always disappointing.
And that's about it for really rumours and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. This week. It's all been about like loot boxes and all that sort of shit.
Yeah. Shall we jump into some games then? As I quickly want to mention, I've been playing some Super Mario Odyssey this week. Yeah, I am enjoying it, but I have to say, it's a fun game. It's great to pick up and play. I'm not finding it to be the super amazing game that everyone's making it out to be, though. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but it definitely won't be in my top 5. I don't know if it'll be in my top 10, to be honest. I'm finding the levels to be a little too short, to be honest. I played for about an hour the other day, and I did about 3 levels, and I was like, oh, And I remember when I was playing, so I'm going to compare it to Super Mario 64. I just remember, when I played Super Mario 64, it just had a bit more kind of wow factor about it. You go into the paintings, you go into the 3D world.
Mario.
Yeah, and everyone was going, oh, the best levels, New Donk City, and I was like, it just seems really out of place in a Mario game. It's like you're in this city and there's like real people there, and you're Mario and you're all weird. And I was just like, this just makes absolutely no fucking sense. It's really weird.
Maybe Mario's the real person and they're all just weird.
Maybe. But I have to say, like, some parts of the level are cool. There's this little section. I'm going to spoil it a little bit. Like, so going back to Donkey Kong, like the original Donkey Kong, where Donkey Kong's throwing barrels at you and you have to jump over them and then get up to the top and punch him. That's pretty cool. So I'm not saying that the game's rubbish by any means, because I am enjoying it, but it's not, oh my god, it's the best game ever, oh my god. It's just a fun game.
I think from what I've heard, I mean, I obviously haven't really played it, and obviously people like Dan and a few of the others will know a lot more than me when it comes to it, but when you go back in through levels, it's all about like trying to find the
moons,
and things. Probably new things will probably open up and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean the exploration is pretty cool, and the moons are hidden in really ingenious places. But it's just like, I mean, I know I was moaning about Zelda the other week and struggling with it, but I've got over that hurdle. And I'm moving on that, and to be honest, if I had the choice between the two games, I'd play Zelda over this any day of the week. It's just a much better game, in my opinion. I mean, Mario's great for pick up and play, so, you know, you pick it up handheld, play it for 5-10 minutes, do a little bit of stuff, and then put it down again, that's great. But if you're looking for a more substantial game, I would play Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Collie was saying the other week, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Sticking his neck out and saying, "Oh, you know, controversial, but ain't all that."
I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. I don't think it deserves a 10 out of 10. No fucking way.
Ooh.
No way. Probably an 8. Anyway. People are probably shouting at me right now.
Yeah.
So I've been playing another game on the Switch this week as well. A game that I'm actually enjoying probably more than Mario. Golf Story.
Okay.
Right. So I've mentioned this before. It's like a 2D top-down game. It's an RPG, but it's about playing golf. And it's a hell of a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying it. So basically you start off as this guy, and you're in this one golf course, and you're trying to prove yourself, and then the game actually opens up to different style of golf courses, like there's a snow level and a water level and all this sort of stuff. But it is an RPG, so you have to go around and talk to people, pick up quests, and you get XP and all that sort of stuff. And the actual gameplay for the golf is just absolutely brilliant. I can't stop playing it. It's just so addictive, and it just works so well on that small screen when you're playing it in handheld mode as well. It's just absolutely brilliant. So I would say if you have a Switch, this is a must buy. It really, really is. I mean, even if you don't like golf, I think it's about a tenner. So
can you play it if you hate golf?
Yes.
That doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter, man. It really doesn't matter. If you hate golf, forget about that. It's just a fun game. It's just brings a smile to my face every time I play it. It really does.
Has it got a good sense of humour as well?
Yes, it does have a good sense of humour. It takes the piss out of itself a lot, but it's the gameplay is just fantastic. It really, really is. It's just a great little game. I'm really enjoying it at the moment.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So Mario's not a system seller, but Golf Story get a Switch.
Yes.
Right.
I know. I'm weird, but no, Golf Story is a really, really good game. It really, really is.
Zelda, keep it. Golf. That's
golf. It's all about golf. Come on. And I know you're watching on Twitch.
Say a bad thing about it. To be honest, though, I've heard a lot of people praising it.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, shall we move on? I've not actually played a lot this week, so I'm going to rip through these. We've talked about my Destiny 2. I played quite a bit of PUBG with Kirk again this week. We're still waiting for that chicken dinner, but really enjoying that. Played some Grand Theft Auto 5, but that game is really retro. Looks fantastic on my PC. Master Race for the win. Right, Battlefield 1. Been playing some of that with Skingle this week. Big up Skingle. We had some good sessions on that online. That was a lot of fun. And look forward to playing some more with you. Playing some Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the EA Access 10-hour trial. It's a fun game, apart from the loot boxes just ruin it. And the last game I've been playing is Evil Within 2. I'm on chapter 8 now, and that game, I can't fucking play it for more than an hour at a time because it just scares the shit out of me. So it's not one for the wimps out there. It's freaky as anything. Like, one of the reasons why I have to keep on putting it down, right, is there's this one monster, right, where it takes you into like this alternate, like, kind of world, and then it starts chasing you around and appearing just like through mirrors and stuff, and it's just fucking weird. Like, the monster just looks fucking disgusting and horrible. So it's like whoever thought of the design for this is just insane, because it's just fucking freaky. It really is.
Come on, you can't give us that. What does it look like?
It's like
that.
Like this slimy woman with long hair and just looks all fucked up and like slithers around.
Like, the woman
and
from The Ring, and isn't it the one in the first game that chases you down the fucking corridor? Like,
I remember that.
like,
Yeah, that was. Claws. Oh, it was horrible.
That description sounds like Theresa May.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, she's an ugly bitch, isn't she? So, come on.
Hey, I've picked that up in the sales actually past week on the Xbox. So I'll look forward to jumping in and giving that a try at some point. I'm just sort of going through other games at the moment, and I don't want to sort of spread my palette too thin and sort of never get anything finished, sort of a thing.
I mean, it's a gorgeous looking game, and it's set in an open world of a town, and then you go to different parts of the town, by walking there and avoiding monsters if you don't want to end up in a massive fight or getting completely eaten or whatever. But then some of the town's kind of like in the sky upside down, and you have to like teleport there in weird ways and stuff. It's absolutely bizarre.
Weird.
Yeah,
it seems to be, sorry for
that's
jumping
all right.
in, but I haven't heard, again, similar to the golf story. Everyone I know who's played it says it's a definite good sort of game, an 8 out of 10 at least.
Yeah,
it just seemed to be another one that not particularly that many people seem to pick up, but probably quite a few did in the sale.
I think it's not one for the weak-hearted. It's like Silent Hill. The horror is very psychological, and it can get to you.
They're the best horror. The best horror ones are that you don't know what's around the next corner, and you don't particularly want to meet it if there is something around that corner. Yeah. They're the best kind of horror games for me, not the sort of like over-the-top gore fest type of stuff. It's the ones with the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you say, the not a full comprehension of what's actually going on type of thing.
Yeah, and things can just happen, like side quests. Like, you'll think, I'll go into that house and gather some loot, and then it will turn into like this epic side quest where something's chasing you around, or there's like poltergeist in the house and things are getting chucked around, and you're just fucking freaking out, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. You wouldn't catch me dead playing that. Like,
lols.
You asked me what games I like to play. I rule the line. I put the line at horror games. Fair. They absolutely shit me up. Like,
you want to get VR out, mate, and buy a few of them?
No. Resident Evil, the latest one in VR. No, thanks. Jeez, I struggle with what's that one with the Slender Man?
Oh yeah.
Literally nothing happens when he catches you, but that does my head in. Like, the screen goes fuzzy. That's enough for me. That's off.
Fair.
No. I got Alien Isolation. Actually, this is how it is. The missus bought that when it was on a sale once. She's never played it, and you won't catch me playing that. Fuck no.
Crazy.
Gives me the willies.
That's all I played this week. I'm not really going to be gaming much this week because I'm working pretty much every single day. So I'll
Are
probably
you running pregnancy drills as well?
well, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Just getting ready just in case, like having bags near the door and
that's it.
fucking working out how long it's going to take you to get from A to B. And
We're not far from the hospital, so we're all good.
it's good.
Yeah, so that's what I've played this week. Next week I probably would have played PUBG, and that's it. So anyway, that's me done. Darren.
Cool. Right, I'll just get the usuals out of the way. Final Fantasy 14 again, literally just been going on doing dailies and pretty much logging off again. I'm just waiting for better content, to be honest. They did release something this week for it, which was Rival Wings, which was like some new PvP mode that's like a Dota clone or something shit. But I've literally got no interest in PvP in that game whatsoever anyway. And a perform mode where you can sort of like play songs on your lute as a bard, but again, it's mainly done for PC players because you can't really hotkey or hotbar all of the notes properly on a PlayStation controller, and they haven't really thought of it particularly for PlayStation users, to be honest.
How does how's that mechanic work? Is it like Parappa the Rapper or something?
Well, no, you're just given like the full amount of music notes, and then you can assign them to your hotbars, and you just sit down somewhere and you just play them. I've watched like loads of videos of like usually Japanese people that have done full renditions of like some of the songs, like in multi-screen versions of like having their character play different highs and lows of it, and then they splice it together to a track. And you just like there are some fucking talented people out there, I tell you. Sort of a thing. It makes you just think, oh, I won't even bother then. Jesus, I'll just be over there. I've heard the odd little like da 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 sort of played in a hunt and stuff in the background, but I think some people have actually turned it off because it was pretty ear draining when you went in on day one and everyone was running around plucking tuneless shite, basically.
Takes you back to those Call of Duty days where people are rapping down the microphone.
Oh
singing.
God, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Bar that, obviously playing Fortnite, did a little bit more with Mellafella in co-op on some of the sort of like new levels and things on that.
I see that it's getting a lot more popular now, the Fortnite Battle Royale mode.
Well, it has always generally been quite popular when it first came out because obviously PUBG was still a ways off when it first dropped because I think the free mode, the Battle Royale now must be about 6 weeks, maybe longer. It's been out and free.
Yeah.
Pardon me. But yeah, I've noticed like recently Collie's been playing it a fair bit. I think Peebs and his kids play it a bit as well, don't they? I know Collie's like won a few games of it now.
Yeah, I popped on it for the first time a couple of nights ago. Just had a game with a couple of mates, and yeah, it's the PvP. I haven't tried the PvE, but the PvP stuff, I can definitely see the potential.
I mean, it to me like if it goes the way that it sort of has been at the moment, that to me is the perfect example of free to play done right.
You can. There are in-game purchases as well.
Yeah, they are pretty expensive for the Battle Royale, but you know what you're getting, and it is strictly cosmetic, and even the card packy stuff in the main game, the PvE. Like I've never actually used real money on any. I've never felt the need to, and even if I did, I'd probably get 90% or 95% of like duplicates of shit I already have anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those games that if you dip in and out of it, the more you play, the better it'll be. I mean, there's a few of us at the moment, myself included, waiting for like the patch for the X or maybe the Pro if the Pro patch is already out or something. Basically, if they actually bring the patch for the Xbox One X out before the game goes free to play, I think that will help them shift a few more copies of it.
Yeah.
Be honest, because there will be people out there that will be like, "Oh, what's it?" and like they might jump on the Battle Royale and go, "Oh, it looks so much more crisp and colourful and stuff now. Fuck it, I'll buy the full game and see the full offering," sort of thing.
Just on the pricing point that you're talking about, it says pretty expensive. correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw you could buy like in-game currency. I think it's 1,000 points, cost £9. Does that sound about right?
I'm not too sure what it comes to the virtual currency on it because I think the currency you use for the battle royale is a separate currency you use for the PvE.
Right.
I believe.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the first unlockable box that I saw was like 1,200 points. So that's like a tenner of in-game money for cosmetic stuff, which is pretty steep.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen some of the microtransactions and they're like 10, 12 quid and stuff. Some of them, aren't they? Which is like, whoa, sort of a thing.
Big money.
But yeah, if people want to spend that, it's up to them. And if they're trying to make a little bit of extra money, and one thing I will always say, they have done a pretty good job in the fact that they've supplied us with like 3 new events since it sort of went like the early access to a certain degree. They've given us like variations on characters. They've given everyone like a free to play mode that no one even knew about before when they were actually launching the game, to be honest. Kudos to them for that. And we get regular updates every weekend or every other week telling us the plans and what they're going to be doing going forward and stuff.
I've just seen on the Twitch chat from Frosty Rob says that apparently the Battle Royale mode is cross-play between PC and PS4.
Right.
That's
Again, no Xbox.
That's quite interesting. You got all the PC gamers with their mouse and keyboards, and then the PlayStation gamers with their controllers.
Well, they've actually had I definitely mentioned it before. There was a fuck up once, and PS4 and Xbox One owners were playing together in the PvE. So it's there. It's just certain people sort of like will or won't allow it to happen, and not being bizarre. Like you're not really going to see any difference between Fortnite on any platform. So bar obviously the mouse and keyboard thing, that doesn't really sort of like particularly matter.
I just find it really weird though, because this whole crossplay thing, it's clearly possible. It's in no one's real best interest to make it happen because clearly they want to sell their own brand. But you've got games like, well, the only one I can really think of is Rocket League, which is crossplay between Xbox, Switch, and PC.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Not PS4.
I think PS4 can play with PC.
Right. But not everyone together. And then, like Fortnite, Xbox aren't involved. So
yeah, strange.
It's just weird how they pick and choose what can work together. Clearly, I think I think the best for everyone would be that everyone can play together regardless of system.
And you can guarantee that's what the developers would want anyway, because you've got content that's like, everyone plays this co-op, and it's like, right, get as many people in there as possible.
Yeah.
Because it keeps it fully populated. There'll always be games going on. People can find each other and connect easy. Job done.
Just this invisible barrier. And it's not the same company. It's, it seems to be different ones for different games. Which makes
last gen
so
it was
frustrating.
Often this gen it seems to be Sony.
Yeah, it's very strange. Anyway, let's move on anyway.
Yeah, so obviously, Fortnite. One of the games I completely forgot to talk about last week, which is currently free on Xbox Live at the moment on the old Games with Gold service. Tales from the Borderlands.
Ooh,
nice.
I've only played the first episode so far, but I really enjoyed what I played. It's kept the same exact humor and everything from Borderlands. There's a lot of like character references, returning characters, like even minor characters coming back for sort of roles. I think they're voiced by the same people as well. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. And for a freebie, I just can't complain, to be honest. And it seemed a bit longer than The Walking Dead from what I can remember, because I usually recall most of those sort of games, like a chapter will take you about an hour or so, but I found it took me like about 3 hours, I think it was, to do the first chapter, maybe a bit longer.
Okay. I always find with the Telltale games it's roughly 2 hours per episode.
Yeah.
So a couple of hours worth of gameplay, you can bash through them. So 3 hours is pretty good value.
Also, I will mention, as of next month, I'm not too sure. I think it's quite early in December when it goes live. But Warhammer Vermintide is going to be on Games with Gold, and people have no excuse not to get that.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Warhammer meets Left 4 Dead, and it's Xbox One X enhanced as well if you've got one of those, so you can have like play it in like up to resolution and everything. So there shall hopefully be a lot of people playing that at some point, and I'll have to jump in and play some co-op with people because I'm not too far in the game. So I think I've only sort of like unlocked a couple of weapons for a couple of the characters, but they're not like massive upgrades from what you have at the start anyway. Sort of a thing.
Nice.
So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, the last sort of game I'll probably talk about. One more, just briefly before I forget. I also played this week Yakuza Kiwami 2 demo off the Japanese PlayStation Marketplace. I
Okay.
walked to Tokyo for a bit. I went drinking with some girls. I beat some street punks up. It's Yakuza. Oh, and I threw someone off a balcony into a piano as well, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man. I mean, a lot of those Yakuza games, they're all very, very similar and everything, but this one's obviously like a remake from of the original Yakuza 2, I believe, which was that PS2? I think it was PS2, wasn't it?
I've never played a
No
Yakuza,
idea.
if I'm honest.
Yeah, it must be, because I think they're up to like Yakuza 7 or something now, aren't they? Technically, if you count 0 and then the one that never come to the West, where it was set in feudal Japan with samurais and stuff. But yeah, it really, really fun. They've polished the graphics up really nicely. I don't know whether it was like a pro patch or whatever with it, or enhanced for the pro when I was playing it, sort of thing. But it did look very slick and crisp, and like I was really enjoying it. All the neon signs of, it's amazing how much like real Tokyo it actually is when you're walking around in those games. It just took me right back, like the sounds as well of like certain shops and arcades, and the little blokes out the front of the shops beckoning you in to sort of go up the stairs to the restaurant or downstairs to a restaurant, depending on where they are, because some of them are sort of underground and such. Yeah, cool. Definitely one to look forward to if you like the Yakuza series. But yeah, I'm now going to take a big slice of humble pie
Oh.
and talk about a game that I think I sort of like dissed a little bit back in the day to a certain degree. Assassin's Creed Origins.
Ooh. Tell me more.
Now, when they first showed this off, I wasn't too impressed with it, to be honest. I thought to myself, like, oh, it's set in Egypt. I don't know. The setting's not grabbing me. Like, it's a bit boring. The last Assassin's Creed I really enjoyed, and it started to become sort of like, oh no, it's just another Assassin's Creed type of thing. This is fantastic. I'm really, really enjoying it so far. If they're going to be doing this with Assassin's Creed now, in taking like long gaps between them, then fair play, do that, because I have been in awe at quite a lot of it, to be honest. There's some fantastic locations in the game. It's very much like an RPG type system now, where completing quests or doing hunts and stuff for materials to craft stuff and upgrade your character will net you XP, which you then put into a skill tree, which is your typical sort of sphere grid type of system from like most leveling games, where you sort of like have to learn a skill by connecting it to another skill, and each node costs a certain amount of skill points to unlock, etc., etc. You've got obviously rarity of different pieces of equipment you can find as well. So you've got your legendary items you can find, your epics, your standards, your things like that. You've got random weird events that can happen in the world at times as well. And one of the things that I have really, really enjoyed about this game so far is it allows me to play the game how I want to play it.
Go on.
Whether or not it actually continues down that route, I don't know, because one of the reasons why I hated Assassin's Creed 2 so much compared to the first one is it was basically a go here, stand here, push this button, do this, run off simulator constantly. Like, it was almost like the control that everything that was in the previous games where you could sort of plan your assassination and everything was wrestled away from you, and they made everything easier. But it was just like one giant scripted event.
Oh, hold up.
Yeah.
For a second there, I thought I heard you say you didn't like Assassin's Creed 2, but you liked the original better.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, I hated.
You're
No
so
way.
weird.
No way. That was
I
my
was
favourite.
so disappointed with Assassin's Creed 2 after the original game. I could not believe how badly I hated it, because it literally was like, it just felt to me like one long scripted event, and you were just there looking at stuff, really. But this one anyway, I've been scuttling about with my bow, picking people off from range, doing fantastic headshots. It was like yesterday I cleared like an encampment, and one of them got away, and he was screaming off down the mountain to go and rescue, like to shout for help for someone. And I pinged off a long marksman shot and got him right in the back of the head from like range. Complete fluke, but I fucking whooped. Sort of a thing. Then game changer as well. Usually in games, if groups of enemies ambush me and piss me off while I'm in the middle of doing something, I will move their corpses about and throw them off mountains and do all that sort of stuff. I found out in this game, if you actually throw all the bodies on a fire, they actually catch light.
Awesome.
It's brilliant.
Sicko.
And also you can you can whip your torch out whenever you want as well,
hey.
to lighten up, sort of like light up tombs and stuff when you go in, because you can dive underwater and search for like sunken ships and stuff like that for treasures, and there's like underground sort of like necropolises and tombs and stuff you can go into. And when you go into those underground tombs, it is literally pitch black because there is no light source coming in, so it is down to literally you and your torch. So anyway, you can drop your torch on the ground to light bodies or whatever, or basically give yourself fire arrows. So you get your torch out, drop it in front of you, aim with your bow, look at your torch, hold your bow over the torch, it will set light to the end of the arrow, boom, you've got a fire arrow, which you can then use to launch off into like straw bales or like explosive pots that will burst everything into flames to really freak people out in camps and stuff.
So you set fire to your arrow. If you suddenly think about, oh, actually, I don't want to fire that anymore, do you set yourself on fire?
I'm not too sure. Usually I do ping it off, but I have set myself on fire in a cave once, stealthing about, and my head caught fire, and my character was like thrashing about a bit, and someone noticed me, which was part annoyance and part amusement.
Well, I mean, the game looks gorgeous.
It is a beautiful game. It's right up there with like your Horizons and your Star Wars Battlefronts, in where you just literally I want to see more of it because of the way it's done. It's got a full day night cycle as well. Like night time's really cool because obviously when you're in the cities you get like moonlight reflecting off cobblestones, all the marbles like kind of reflective and really well detailed, like for the textures, and a similar thing sort of in the daytime as well, when the actual like the sunlight ripples off the surface of the water. Some of the best water effects in a game as well, I might add. And it's not like your pure clear blue water. There's like a greenish tint to it, and there's bits of algae floating on the surface as well, and
just kind of immerses you into the game, right?
It's just like proper pulled me in, and you can get like attacked by lions, crocodiles, random shit at random times as well if you're not careful. But I will say, when you first start the game off, learn to use Senu, which is your eagle, because you'll need him to actually mark targets to highlight them on the map where they are. Otherwise, you'll do what I did at first, and that is blunder around like a drunken Morris dancer, fucking causing as much shit as possible because you're constantly getting spotted every 5 seconds.
He's like your Ghost Recon UAV drone.
Sort of, yeah. Which leads me to the only two things in the game that I don't particularly like that much. One is the combat. It still feels a bit janky to me. It's not perfect. Haven't checked to see if you can remap buttons, but there's a dodge button which is actually like X or square, depending on which system you're playing it on. But it's usually circle or B, as it is in most games, to do like a dodge roll. So I'm constantly forgetting to dodge roll out of the way of things, and your attacks are like the LB and RB, sort of. LB and L trigger to do like heavy light attacks and stuff, and it sometimes throws me out a little bit, and combat can turn into a bit of a shit show, to be honest. And I do find myself cursing it. And the only other thing is chariots control like shit.
Right.
The thing. But everything else is fantastic. Like I say, I've been playing it now for, I think it's over 24 hours, I think it is. I've played it. But I've probably only covered what a normal person would cover in about 5 or 6 hours. Because I'm literally just looking all over the place, scuttling about. I actually sat in a camp the other night, determined to silently take down every single person in the base, and it took me an hour and a half.
Oh, man.
Because I was patiently waiting for people to come by and whistle them into the bushes to stab them up to throw them on the piles.
Throw them on the bonfire.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if you like the Assassin's Creed series, you probably already have this game already, but if not, it might well be the most accessible one for depending on the type of way you want to play it. If you want to go balls in, charging and taking everything out melee style, you can do. If you want to sneak back, I mean, I've had it where I've gone in, looked at a location, and it's like, oh, my main objective there is kill the captain. All right, I've already done that because I shot him from range up on the hillside with my marksman bow. Now I just have to pick off everyone else and go looting for all the bits and goods that are down there.
I've only played the opening kind of section of the game, and
I
was really impressed by it. But it's one of those games you just kind of need to play without any distractions. And
exactly, that's why I haven't gone into Evil Within yet, because I'm sort of in this at the moment. And sometimes if you check out of a game too long and you go back in, it throws you out.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games that there is a lot to do, but if you sort of like budget, like sort of work your way around, because I'm like Collie to a certain degree from what I can recall. I'll go to a zone and I'll try and do every single thing in that zone before I move to the next one.
Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah, there's also this little kid as well that sort of gives you like a daily quest. I think it's like once every 24 hours, and you get like a certain amount of time to complete it, which I think is like the rest of that day. And every time you complete one of those quests, it'll give you like a random item, which the first time I've done it, he gave me a legendary pair of dual blades and a legendary shield.
Ooh.
So it was like awesome. And another cool thing as well, I'll add briefly before we move on to Ruski. You obviously get weapons at different levels and stuff in the game as you level up and you beat people down and stuff. They can drop them and other things like that, or you can buy them from shops and things. Also, say I got those legendary blades when I was level 10. Now I'm level 15. They're not actually that great anymore. But I can actually pay to upgrade them to the level 15 version of those.
Oh, that's
pretty cool.
So you get an item that you really, really like. You can constantly level it up with your character, so you can always have it, and it always stays relevant.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So yeah, I'll hopefully report back on more of it, but I'm just exploring places. I've got to the first about 5 hours ago in game. I got to Alexandria, which is like the first big sort of city place, and it's like got full of pantheons and like the marble statues and things like that. And I have seen the pyramids of Giza off in the distance as well somewhere, but it's a higher level zone than I am at the moment. But the map as well, as you know, Webby, it's massive. If you've
Yeah.
actually on the map, it's pretty beast.
Yep, they've done a really good job of it, and I have to say, it's the only PC game this year that hasn't been cracked yet as well. It's been out a
Ooh.
month, and it hasn't been cracked.
Didn't they give it double layer or something? I heard a double
Yeah,
layer.
so they're using de novo, which usually gets cracked within a day or two, but they're using this extra layer called VM Protect. So it's kind of like...
Some people are saying that double DRM has actually affected the performance.
So yeah, a lot of people have been saying if they've got
Apparently.
decent CPUs in their PC, it's kind of maxing out the CPU because it's running like a virtual machine. But Ubisoft are saying that it's a load of bollocks. But I tend to believe gamers, to be honest. But people that I know have bought it on the PC are saying that it runs fine. So yeah.
I mean, I picked it up in the sale for like 35 quid.
Yeah.
So I go wrong. So it was like 35 quid for that and like 25 for Evil Within 2. So I was like, nice one.
That's good.
So just as a last thing on Assassin's Creed, I guess. Before this, had you played all of the Assassin's Creed leading up to it, or did you give the series a rest? Or
I played obviously the first one, played the second one. Because I hated the second one, I never played the two weird follow-on ones from that, which were
Brotherhood and Revelation.
Yeah, I didn't play either of those two. Then I played Black Flag and Syndicate. I didn't bother with. The one in the American Revolution. Yeah, I played that.
Black Flag, did you play that?
Oh, yeah, Black Flag I played. I didn't play the one set in France.
Oh,
Unity, yeah.
Unity, yeah, I avoided that one. And
that's
then
probably the worst one, I would say, is Unity.
Well, it was the most buggy one, and it gave us some quality memes, didn't it, of like weird faces and like.
But I have to say though, as a series, Assassin's Creed is a series that I vastly enjoyed. I've played all of them. Yes, there's been a few duffers in there game-wise, but I have enjoyed them all. And I'm even gonna go out and say I enjoyed the movie.
You're not mental.
I know. Well, I watched it on Sky because it's on the movie channel. I was like, I want to watch this, and I actually thought it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. So
it wasn't horrendous, but it wasn't good either.
I mean, if you'd never played any of the games, I doubt you would know what the fuck is going on. But because obviously I played all the games and I've read a lot into the backstory of the Animus and all that stuff, I kind of knew what was going on in the film. So I think the film is more aimed at mega fans of the games, to be honest.
I was actually thinking where I'd quite like where I'd quite like the next Assassin's Creed to go, actually, to be honest. And obviously, a lot of people have said like the whole feudal Japan thing is rife for the assassination thing, like ninjas and all that sort of thing, samurai and whatnot. But technically, we're getting an open world samurai game now with that Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
So I would actually quite like one of them to actually be set in like Norway or something, like Vikings and shit.
I want another one in
I
London.
think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you could go into all like the Norse gods and things like that as well with it and whatnot. Because obviously, one of the things as well that I have actually appreciated with a lot of the Assassin's Creed over the years is it makes you appreciate things from that time period or culture a bit more. Like gives you slight insight, because they've always done a similar thing, haven't you? Like in the old Assassin's Creed, you end up befriending Da Vinci, who's like a real person in history, and they obviously get real things and inventions and certain things that went on, and then twist them into their own sort of story.
Yeah,
which has always been really clever. But yeah, great. So I was completely wrong about that game, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it so far.
Cool. Is that it then, Darren?
Yeah, it's done yet. Yeah.
Right, Rooski.
My games list is probably going to be a bit retro because I haven't really picked up any new games.
That's cool.
Recently, but I'll go for a few notable ones that I've played recently and give you my opinion on them. First one, you were talking about Telltale games earlier. I played Batman Telltale series, the first one.
Oh, okay.
I played that recently, and if I'm honest, I just played it because I had it. I wasn't really expecting much because I've played pretty much all the Telltale games up to that point.
I'm sure Sly's been playing this recently as
Yeah,
well.
has.
And you know, you kind of get to that point where it's like you realise the magic that's going on underneath it all, and it gives you the illusion of choice, but nothing really changes. And having played this though, I got on really well with it. I thought it was really good. I think it's probably because I'm a bit more invested in the Batman universe than I was, for example, Walking Dead or The Wolf Among Us, which I thought was really good, but I just had more of a clue what was going on with Batman, and because it's kind of like a an early Batman story, I thought it was really cool to see kind of like the development of the different characters. So you got Two-Face going on there, you got the Penguin, you got Batman clearly, Catwoman. So you got some of the big hitters from Batman's universe, and it tells the story really well. So
Cool.
I really enjoyed that. And I was contemplating picking up the second series in the sale because it was only 15 quid. But then I figured my backlog of games is way too big. I've got so much stuff to play anyway. I probably wouldn't get round to getting it until it was even cheaper.
Yeah.
So I've held off on that. If you're into Batman and if you get on okay with the Telltale games, it's got some pretty good combat scenes as well. It's better combat. It's quick time events, yeah, but the way it flows and the way it comes about seems a bit more organic than some of the kind of gameplay bits of previous Telltale games. So
Yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean. Stop and start sort of thing while you're doing your bits,
yeah,
making your choices and such.
the combat really works, and the story stuff is real good too. So yeah, I recommend that if you're looking at something Batman-y. And if you like Tales of the Borderlands, which you can play for free if you get it by the end of the month, or if you get it by the end of the month.
I
So
think
there's
as well, Batman isn't Batman the first game that they're using in like a slightly different engine, like a slightly upgraded engine from the. Because I know most of them, like Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead, and I think Borderlands, the Tales from the Borderlands, and even possibly the Game of Thrones one, all ran on pretty much the same type of engine,
I think
game
the
engine.
Batman one looks pretty similar to me.
it does look
Mm.
similar, but I think it performs a little bit better. I didn't notice, certainly with the other games, you tend to notice a little bit of stuttering towards the end of a scene or towards or action heavy bits. It seems to kind of frame rate really drops, and it just kind of drops you out of the immersion a little bit, I find. But with the Batman one, it did seem a lot more smooth going through. So yeah, I thought it looked good as well for a Telltale game, I guess. So there's that. Anyone got anything else on Batman?
No.
No.
So next, one of my go-to games for just picking up and having a little go has been Trials Fusion.
Wow.
Now, the old, that
Wow,
that
you're
was
going way back.
that was free with Games for Gold last year, the year before might even have been. It's just that one more go thing. Each
One more
course.
controller.
Yeah, I've got so much better with controlling my tempo with controllers since the controllers got more expensive. I'll tell you that. But yeah, it's just trying to beat your times. Again, I've got a couple of guys that have been playing it recently as well, because we all seem to gather and play the free games, because that's the ones that we've all got. So yeah, we've just made this internal competition so you can get the best times on all the tracks, so you can get the most achievements, that kind of thing. So as frustrating as it is, you can pick it up and you can play it for 10 minutes even. You give it a good go. See if you can get any better and beat your friends. I noticed there's a lot of people that I'm friends with on the Xbox from the community have put time into it, but they've probably left it well alone for a good while now. So If anyone fancies
It'll
it,
be rusty.
yeah, pick up and play. You can try and beat my times
Woohoo!
until it gets to the hard ones, and then
And then cry.
pretty easy. Yeah, cry. So that's that. Another pick up and play game, which I honestly don't know why I do it. Webby, I kind of blame you, but I also
Alright, go on then.
blame Games with Gold. Trackmania Turbo.
Oh, that game's awesome!
Is it?
Oh, I really enjoyed it, man. I like it, man.
I
It's hard.
I have this weird thing with it where I despise myself for playing it, but I still do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I'm driving around. I'm like, this is shit. This is terrible. But I've got to get a medal and then move on to the next track.
It's addictive, isn't it? It is addictive, and it's kind of getting that perfection on the track time, you know?
I pick up and then I go to the next track and I'm like, oh, I finished that one. That was all right. Oh, this is shit. I'm flying off into the fucking sea, going off, missing all the ramps, but I still want to do it again. And yeah, I've cleared about 4 worlds now, so 40 tracks in. I know I'm going to go back to it. I know I'm going to hate myself for it, but it's another one of them, just one more go.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't fuck it up quite so bad this time, but it's a bit more stick than it is carrot for me.
It's fun, though.
Certainly enough carrot to keep me coming back, so there's that. I had a quick go of Fortnite Battle Royale, the PvP modes, because you were mainly talking about the PvE when you switched.
Yeah,
I had to go with the PvP. Me and a mate gave it a good go. We didn't know what we were doing, but you know, we did okay. We were playing in twos and we made the top 10. People remaining once. The rest of the time we were just getting picked off, not knowing what the hell was going on, who was shooting. But it's all a learning process. And the one good thing about it, well, there's several good things about it, to be honest. One, it's free, and you can't argue with free.
Yeah.
2, it's a really good premise. Obviously, it's a clone of Battlegrounds.
It's an exact clone.
It's an exact clone, but this
Apart
one
from the building of things.
Battlegrounds is even sort of technically a clone of like H1Z1 and stuff like that.
Not massively.
DayZ and that, sorry, to a certain degree, like the PvP aspects and the closing world.
So, I mean, but it is available on the Xbox. So I don't game on my PC. So the last good thing about it is it's got me really excited for Battlegrounds coming to the Xbox.
Yeah,
because
it's going to be good.
From what everyone's saying, Fortnite is poor man's Battlegrounds.
Yep.
And I can see the attraction of the game. I just think there's a little bit too much going on with the building stuff to be a kind of pure multiplayer level ground kind of game. I know everyone can build, but it's just an additional thing you have to think about. Battlegrounds, with its just kind of land, loot and kill kind of simplicity.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to come.
It's my most played game all year. It's just...
Do we know when it's coming out on the Xbox?
December the
early December.
7th, I think, yeah.
Oh, I hope it doesn't slip.
The same day as your child. Are you going to call your player unknowns?
No. I don't even know if I'm going to pick it up on Xbox or not. We'll see, because I'm so used to playing it with a mouse and keyboard now that I might struggle with the controller. I don't know. Depends how many people get it. We'll see.
So yeah, I'm probably going to give Fortnite a bit more of a go. Kind of community type sessions. Speaking of which, got to give a shout out to Bolo and Clarky. Clarky79, that is, for forcing together a Mojo community night.
Sometimes that needs to be done.
Bolo's been on a real drive recently to get the community spirit back. And he threw together a session. He woke up early on a Sunday morning,
Oh, he's a good lad.
To play with everyone. There was a pretty decent turnout.
Good.
Just so happened they were playing a game I didn't have. It was a Battlefield 1 session, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, so there was about 6 or 7 people playing that. I think Big P was there, but it took forever to download, so he was in party chat, but didn't actually get to game with them.
Oh, gutted.
That can be the problem if you haven't updated something for a good couple of months. You know what I mean? You stick it into play and you sat there with like a 12 gig patch download or something, and you're like, no.
It's weird. Sometimes I set my Xbox to auto download updates, but every now and again it'll just happen when I'm on, and it'll be like, you can't go online if you don't get the update.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
So you have to sit there and wait for it to do it, do the download and all that business. So yeah, it's a bit of a shitter. But yeah, they say they're going to make it quite a regular thing. Some point of the weekend, there'll probably be communications over Twitter
And Facebook and stuff. Yeah.
Don't forget the Discord.
And Discord as well. Yeah, put a link in Discord at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, always do.
So yeah, that's something to look forward to. If you can make it, drop by. People aren't scary. Well, not all of them.
Some people are.
Yeah. So, get on it, people. Get some community spirit back. Next game.
Next.
So, again with the retro feels, I've been putting quite a lot of time into Forza Horizon 3.
Oh, retro? Is that retro?
Just
Come on.
reminded me of something I forgot to mention earlier when I was on my rumour mill.
Ooh.
Brief rumour, again, that came out. The next Forza Horizon could possibly be set in Japan.
Japan.
Which could be pretty fucking awesome if it has the day and night cycle and you're going around the Japanese streets with all the neon signs and stuff like that.
Well, that's probably a reason why they haven't done it already, because the day and night cycles are now kind of bedded in. It started with Horizon 3 and has been carried on with Forza 7, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So that seems to be a kind of mainstay, hopefully, of the series. But yeah, you're going to need a lot of processing power to get lights coming on the scale of Tokyo, like.
Also, after my thing last week where I briefly mentioned about Microsoft should actually get some of its first-party studios to make games that aren't necessarily just the same franchises over and over, Playground Games have apparently set up a second studio to work on an open-world RPG.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's good
which
news.
Is cool.
It's
diversity is good.
Yeah, I like it when you hear something a bit different from a developer, because you can quite easily get typecast, as I guess Playground have been with the driving games.
And obviously, 343's new game. Let me guess, another Halo, is it?
Yeah, another first-person shooter. Yeah. So, yeah, Forza Horizon. I've been doing my usual thing with Forza and taking my time, trying to do championships and just kind of unlock everything in the festival, try and do all the little bucket list challenges.
Yeah. Well, one thing I love about Horizon as well is you can do the whole campaign kind of in co-op as well.
Yeah, I haven't even touched that.
Oh, man.
At all. So, yeah, I mean, that's cool. I haven't really done much multiplayer on it.
Oh, we need to set some time up. We need to do some.
I've got it, but I'm waiting for the Xbox X patch for it, and then I'm going to come straight back in.
Yeah. So I picked up in a it must have been just a deals with gold. I picked up the Blizzard Mountain DLC.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Cool.
Really good.
Yeah, that's really good. But I was really hoping that the following week or a couple of weeks later, the Hot Wheels want to be in there as well. So I haven't got the Hot Wheels DLC yet, but that looks pretty cool.
It's brilliant. It's really, really good.
Wasn't the season pass on sale, or was it just the separate?
No, it's just the Blizzard Mountain one was on for, I think I paid
£1 was it? £8? So.
Yeah, eight or £9, and I figured if both of them came on for £8 or £9, that's money off and cheaper than the season pass has ever been.
Still got
But
the
no,
Christmas and New Year sales to come, so who knows?
yeah, knowing my luck though, they'll put Blizzard Mountain on, and then they'll never put Hot Wheels on the sale price at all, but they'll do the season pass.
Yeah,
So
more than
if I
likely.
want it, I have to pay for that season pass.
Sorry, I'm a dickhead. You just reminded me. I picked up a massive bargain last year, season pass in the Christmas sales, and that was the Rise of the Tomb Raider
Oh,
season
nice.
pass. It cost me £5,
Nice.
sort of a
So
thing. And yeah, I forgot to say I finished that this week.
what's in the
Awesome.
season pass then? I don't remember the DLC.
The
for
Baba
that.
Yaga DLC, some thing where you can go around Croft Manor, basically sort of exploring some backstory or something. There's like a weird sort of zombie mode and co-op survival mode stuff, and survival
Okay.
and co-op survival mode stuff. But yeah, again, really enjoyed Rise of the Tomb Raider. Apart from the last sort of like part of the game, the last sort of like 15-20 minutes is just one long fucking interactive cutscene, basically,
Yeah.
with not
Yeah.
much control, sort of a thing.
Just going back to Forza Horizon quickly, I think that would be really good. Karki's mentioned in the Twitch chat as well as the next gamer night. We'll try and sort something out.
Yeah, do some of that road trip business.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So that pretty much brings me to the end. One last game that I've been caning recently, and this is retro. I've already been through and I've played it through the first time round in the last generation. But again, it was a Games with Gold title. You can see a pattern there. Sleeping Dogs.
Sleepy Dogs.
Fantastic game.
I fucking love that game.
Yeah.
And hence the reason why I'm playing it in its entirety again. The Games with Gold version was the ultimate. It's revamped for the new system, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got all the
Definitive
DLC
edition.
as well. So yeah, like it's just despite besides GTA, it's the best GTA experience you'll get outside of it, in my opinion.
Fantastic world, awesome combat.
The combat, is the thing that keeps me coming back to that. It's just so satisfying. It's kind of the Batman style, alert and counter kind of fighting, but all the different combinations you can pull off. You can have some massive brawls and just feel like a total champ at the end. Absolutely ruin everyone. And with some of the unlockable moves that you get through returning the Kung Fu Master statues to him, that's a pretty brutal things.
Yeah, the broken bones ones, like where you shatter knees and stuff.
I swear you can pick up the same guy and break his knees 3 times. He still comes back for more. Absolutely fantastic game. All the DLC as well. I've just got to a bit which I couldn't remember the first time around, but it turns out it was a DLC package. I can't remember what it was called, but it's this crazy professor guy is creating this ultimate car. So you're kind of essentially doing missions to build the Batmobile. And at the end of the mission trail, you literally get to drive this fully functioning Batmobile with like in-car guns, an EMP pulse that you can fire off and disable cars. It's ridiculous.
Was it Sleeping Dogs where you could actually jump from vehicle to vehicle as well? Yeah,
it's called the action hijack. Yeah, so you're driving behind cars, and then you literally jump onto the roof and steal the cars that way. Yeah,
it's the best John Woo game that's not actually John Woo.
It's good, ridiculous fun, and I still haven't got to the end of the story, and this is what I was playing it through for. If anyone hasn't really put the time in and played the game, I remember either the penultimate or the last mission being one of the most amazing stupid, fun action film parts of any video game I've ever played. The game's good up to that point. It's got the kind of story about the undercover cop. Is he good? Is he part of the gang? You don't really know what he's up to. And he's the guy that you're playing. So it's a really good story. But then at the end, it just turns it up to 11. It's just I can't wait to get to that.
The shit hits the fan.
Yeah, it's so really enjoying going through that again.
It also hit that right notes of, even though you are infiltrating a gang and the gang are technically bad people and stuff, you actually like them.
Yeah, you can, like, I'm definitely getting that feeling that I can see how it gets sucked into the gangs. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, really good. It's really worth playing if you haven't given it any time and you're looking for something to play. I really recommend it.
Cool.
But that's pretty much all I've played.
Price of a pint or something nowadays.
I think it was free on Games of Gold a little while ago, you know?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there you go.
It went free a week after I bought it for £2.
Oh, have to get a refund on that £2, mate.
They deserve that £2.
Yeah. Great game. I don't even know what the developers did after that.
I'm not sure, but
United Front. Never
I wanted another one actually after playing that, because I think everyone was caught off guard by, like, oh my god, this is going to be a fucking train wreck, and everyone's like, this is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah,
because didn't that game start off as something else and they redid it or something?
If you remember, there was a game on the PS2, True Crime LA.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was Streets of LA.
Which was pretty bad.
Had Snoop Dogg in it.
That's how bad it was.
Bloody hell.
But yeah, when I heard there was a follow-up to it, I was a bit sceptical.
Understandable.
The more I saw of it, the more I thought this actually could be all right. And then when it came out on the 360, I saw the reviews, and it was getting some pretty good reviews. So
cool.
Well,
again, I think everyone gave it. It got good reviews everywhere and stuff, but then I don't think that many people picked it up. And I'm not too sure whether it was the fact that there was quite a oversaturation of those open world type of games, wasn't there, at the point when it actually came out?
Yeah, because you had like Saints Row going on,
and we'd had the Red Deads and obviously GTA's and on the horizon and stuff as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Right, shall we move on to questions?
Yeah.
Right, so first question, Imran Roper says, what did you buy on the Black Friday weekly sale? I think we already mentioned this in the pre-show.
Yeah, I'll mention my two anyway.
Not really anything.
I picked up a couple of games. I haven't played either of them, that's why I haven't mentioned them. But I picked up the new South Park.
Nice, that game is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to starting it, but it's quite difficult with the kid around.
Yeah, true.
So there's that, and I also, instead of picking up the new Wolfenstein, I picked up the double pack for a tenner.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Was that the old two, is it?
Yeah, so the New Order and the Old Blood. I already had the New Order on disc version, but I'm pretty much over getting up to switch discs around. I really can't be asked with that. So it's tenner for the Old Blood, and also means that my mate can game share it as well, and I don't think he's played it. So yeah, it's a bargain for those two. But that's all I got in the sales.
You get anything Switch? Or...
Yeah, like I said, Evil Within 2 and Assassin's Creed, and technically Wolfenstein I got in sale price anyway because it was bundled in with my X.
Nice. Nick Wilson says, I've got a Nintendo Switch with Mario Kart, Odyssey and Rabbids coming for Christmas. Do I also get Zelda or Xenoblade 2? Also, is the Pro Controller a must purchase, or is the standard Joy-Con thing good enough?
I've heard the Pro Controller is a good purchase.
I would say it's well worth it because it's fucking awesome.
It was a must with the Wii U because the actual tablet thing I thought was horrific to use.
I mean, the Joy-Cons are good with the Wii, with the Switch, because you get a little thing where you can slide them in that makes it like a little controller, but I prefer the
Puffy.
feel of the Pro controller. But in regards to buying Zelda or Xenoblade, Zelda.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Zelda, to be honest.
Xenoblade can wait till next year, man. I'm going to skip some questions because about loot boxes, and I think we've talked about that. Paul Clark says, "Is it still too early to be putting up the Christmas tree?"
No.
Yes.
Yes, it
It's
is.
supposed to be 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after.
December the 24th, put it up. Boxing Day, take it down.
No.
Paul Clark has already... no, Imran Roper's already put his up and got a picture on Facebook of his Christmas tree.
Yeah, there's someone opposite my house, actually, just over the road. I think they've got their decks up already as well.
Jeremy King says, "Will Switch sing a song for the listeners? I bet he has a lovely singing voice."
Oh, God. I used to actually be in a choir as a child.
Oh my God, I could imagine you as a little choir boy swearing away. That's why you don't do it anymore. You got kicked out. Jeremy King also says, "Has anyone completed Persona 5 yet?" No, not yet. I'm getting there slowly. And Imran says that I don't finish games. Dude, I finished South Park the other week, alright? Come on. Okay. Mark Pate, or I don't know how to pronounce your name. Pat, or Pate? Pate? Sorry, Mark. If you can send us a voice thing for next week, tell us how to pronounce your surname, that'd be great.
Is there a little hyphen above the E?
No, it says Pate, isn't it? Mark Pate.
Yeah.
Can Battlefront 2 ever recover from the bad press following future updates DLC, or is the game doomed?
I'm still not convinced about their decency in this whole thing because they've said it's a constantly evolving process.
Yeah.
We've disabled this temporarily. So
yeah.
I think they're coming back, you know.
Oh, I don't know, because
When
apparently
the storm
Disney
dies
are not
down.
happy with them, are they? So,
Well, no,
Well,
because
certainly
they've
not.
brought a lot of negativity to their main brand.
yeah, because the film's out in, what, a couple of weeks or so? Something like that?
Yeah,
I
pretty
don't know.
much. Yeah, about 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Also, I just read on Twitter, whether, again, pinch of salt or not, but apparently since Bungie removed this XP cap or something from the level throttling, it now takes you twice as much XP to level up.
Lols.
Yeah, so they nerfed the XP to earn the characters through gameplay, and they also nerfed the rewards for each of the rounds. So
Oh, fucking dicks.
bullshit.
Refund.
Yeah. So
Apparently they were telling all their investors that all this negative press and stuff isn't going to hurt the sales of the game anyway.
No.
And has it
So,
sold better
who
than the
knows?
first game? I don't know.
To answer the question, I still think that there's going to be enough sales
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
to make
Definitely.
it a success. I don't think there's going to be as big an uptake as they would have had if it wasn't for the shit.
At the end of the day, it's a damn shame because basically what they were going to put out before all this loot box and everything else came into effect looked like a pretty fucking good game, to be honest. And it's all just been overshadowed by this total and utter shit show.
Indeed.
Saddy face. Well, what we need instead of a new Star Wars game is a new Star Trek game, and all will be good in the world with no loot
You got
boxes.
Star Trek Online,
Yeah, but it's not
Star
that
Trek
great.
Bridge Crew.
Yeah, I haven't got a VR headset, mate. Mate,
Would
if
that
they
be
made
one
a
you'd
version,
actually get?
dude, if they made that a version of that without needing VR, I'd be all over it. Day one purchase, mate. 50 quid, job done.
I'm surprised they might not. They might do one version, like a cheap version for it for the old Samsung Gear or whatever it is. VR.
That'd be
I
cool.
don't know.
Andy Robb, Cupheads. What was the point, dude? That's a great game. Come on,
Yeah.
Cuphead
It's
is
a good
awesome. Yeah, still not finished it because it's
That's what I was
fucking
going to
hard.
say. If you haven't seen it, there's a video that's been doing the rounds the last couple of days of basically people doing Dark Souls but in Cuphead's art style.
Oh yes, that looks so
It looks
cool.
great.
What?
That does look cool. Yeah.
Oh, I'll check that out.
Last question, Steve Powell. What would you be willing to pay more for a game if they drop loot boxes or even DLC? Yeah.
I'd probably be willing to spend an extra 5-10 quid on a game, knowing that I was getting a full thing. Like I was saying with the Dragon Ball thing, but charge me £10 more and put all them characters in the game when it actually comes out, rather than fucking hold them back for a season pass bollocks.
Yeah, holding content for ransom.
It depends how much value you're going to get from the game, because like with Ghost Recon Wildlands, I spent like 80 quid on that, and I feel like I got my money's worth because of the amount of time I spent on it.
Yeah,
It was like
and
120
like
hours or
Siege
something.
and Rainbow Six Siege as well, kind of that kind of value for the
Yeah.
season pass.
Did you guys? I know Webby. I think I sent you a link or something for it. I think it was like a week or so back. I can't remember if I mentioned it last week or not. Actually, they're doing like a free update co-op sort of zombie mode for it.
That sounds weird. I mean, I haven't played Rainbow for about a week, and it's good as it is because it's kind of like a serious PvP, and you're rescuing hostages and all sorts. And I think a zombie mode will just kind of take some of that away.
It's only a limited thing, isn't it? Just something to do with some of the new operators they're releasing are basically like bioterrorism or something.
Oh, okay.
So some tie-in with that, and then it will eventually come down. But I sort of thought, that sounds like a sort of like interesting spin on the old terrorist hunt, I'm guessing.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
I would be willing to pay a decent amount for a game if I could believe what they say. If they say this is going to be everything, it needs to mean that that's everything.
They're like politicians, aren't they?
Oh, actually, yeah, we forgot this extra bit that we're working on. That's 15 quid, please. What?
Mm.
Yeah. If I could trust them, which I think trust is a pretty rare commodity in games recently.
It's becoming.
Yeah, I'd probably pay more.
Well, in life. That's into the questions. Anything else you want to mention before we end the show?
No, but I'll probably remember something.
I saw a shonky post about PlayStation 5.
I don't believe that.
I've been seeing that rumour since just before E3 last year, I think.
Yeah, it's real inconsistent. They had several shots and it looks different in each of the photos.
Oh, you wouldn't ever see an actual prototype of the actual system itself. Like all that stuff would just literally be made up, no doubt. Like all you'd hear is like rumblings on the grapevine of the sort of stuff it's going to have inside.
To be honest, though, Sony need to do something because the Pro's not really cutting it against the X.
You say that, but there's not really a massive difference, to be honest.
No.
Like I have both basically. I'm completely happy with both, and like even Assassin's Creed Origins, although like the Xbox One version does run at sort of like extra resolution, it's not like a massive jump in resolution, and it's only really when it like zooms in like 200, 300 times zoom that you really notice things, to be honest.
I guess you don't really go into that kind of detail.
Plus, you've got on Sony's side, they've got like all the exclusives and stuff.
This is true.
Okay.
Which is why the part of me sort of could believe the whole Devil May Cry thing, if it is a possibility, because it is literally another thing of like, no, we don't need the power, we'll just wave games at people and get them to look over this direction for that sort of a thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, everyone's all high on the X and everything at the moment, but again, the beginning of next year is probably going to pretty much go the beginning of this year, in the fact that you're going to be looking at stuff like possibly of like God of War and some of the like main Sony stuff all starting to come through. Like you're going to have Spider-Man next year and God of War, obviously, possibly Days Gone. I doubt we'll see Last of Us 2. And then
You
they've
think it's
obviously a few other bits and bobs in the pipework that I can't even think of. That Ghost of Tsushima, I think that's next year as well.
Final Fantasy VII Remake in about 10 years.
That could be a fucking PS5 game for all we know. In fact,
Yeah.
it probably bloody well might as well be.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
new Quantic Dream game as well.
Oh, that looks
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
That was one
It
of
does.
the funny things I saw the other day. All of the PC lot were so happy about like Nioh, obviously eventually ending up on the PC, and it's got the same fucking graphics options as the PS4 Pro has anyway.
Yeah, but it'll look better and run better on PC, mate.
No, it's got the exact same fucking options.
Yeah, but it'll look
So
better
it's
on
like,
PC. Guaranteed.
so it's like you can either play it in increased resolution with less frame rate, or you can play it in 1080p at 60 FPS, which is exactly what it is on the
Mate,
Pro.
I guarantee... I've actually got it on my PC. I've not actually played it yet. I guarantee you I'll be able to run it at 1440p at 60 frames per second at least.
No, because I think that's the actual options you're given in the game. You have to choose one.
No,
I don't
guarantee
think can
you...
actually set it.
No, guaranteed, mate.
PC.
I guarantee... I'm going to put it on in a minute and then I will show you.
You can do. But that's what I read anyway. I read that it's got the exact same options as the PS4 Pro version.
Yeah,
was
but
like,
the thing
oh,
is with PCs you can't... You don't cap the frames like that. You just let it go on unlimited and then whatever it can handle it'll do.
Well,
know what I
no,
mean?
apparently you can run it at native 4K, but it does knock it down to 30 FPS or an inconsistent frame rate.
Oh,
You'd
God, yeah. 4K, yeah.
have to put it on 1080 for it to run at 60, which is exactly what the Pro does anyway. That's what I was sort of saying.
Well, we will see, shall we?
Yeah. Even if so, it'll probably have, you can see a little reflection in the corner of his blade, and you can't see that on the PlayStation 1 Master Race.
It's all about the frame rates, dude. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That'll be fucking something they need to work on the next gen, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the problem with generations is they're so keen to get onto the resolution thing, and as Webby said, like over a number of weeks now, it's resolution isn't everything, because and as you were saying, like you get a much higher resolution, it doesn't make that much of a difference to your naked eye, whereas the frame rate, if they improve on the frame rate, prioritize that over these high resolution things, then I think everyone would, well, a lot of people would be a lot more happier about how the games run.
Yeah. I mean, some games already run at sort of like 60 FPS and like an increased frame rate anyway to a certain degree.
Well, I'm telling you now,
having...
I've just gone onto YouTube and it's running on PC at 4K 60 FPS. I just found a video of it straight away.
Patch?
Sorry?
Is that before some sort of kind of patch? Because this is literally coming from their own developers saying that it doesn't.
Well,
this is another one of the things where you get a lot of people that go, "Oh, consoles these days can't do 4K at 60 FPS," and then you get like even like when the Pro come out, it's like, "Oh, there's no native 4K games," and it's like Skyrim was native 4K day one. And then it's the same thing with like, the Xbox One X can't actually do 60 FPS and 4K, and it's like Forza Horizon 7 or Forza 7. So like some people don't know what the fuck they're talking about half the time. It's like just do what you can do, push what you can push, everything. I still don't take Bungie's bullshit excuse of why they can't do 60 FPS on fucking console.
Yeah.
That to me is insane, but
yeah. Well, as long as you enjoy the game, whatever, but...
That's it. I mean, look at it. Fucking Switch at the moment. It's kicking everything's fucking arse, and the least powerful out of everything, really.
That's it. Well, anyway, guys, we're going to end it here before we get into too much techno babble. You know, we can play a SNES and still enjoy it. So, whatever. As long as you enjoy your games, that's all that matters.
I will say, if you do want to play a SNES, play the bloody mini SNES, because that's the best looking way of playing a SNES I've seen on a modern television anyway.
It's fucking awesome.
If it's not a CRT,
it's awesome,
the presentation is like really well done on that thing.
Yeah, it's great. Especially when you hack it to put like over 100 games on. It's great. Anyway, we're going to end it here, guys. Big thank you to Ruski for coming on.
No worries, anytime.
Look forward to getting more community members on in the future. Obviously, there will be a show. We'll be recording again Monday next week because I'm working this weekend. And then we might have a little break because obviously baby arrives after next week's show. So I might have a week or two off. Yeah. And then, so awesome times.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. It's been good.
Cool.
Enjoyed it.
Good. Right. Anyway, so from me, Mark Webb, Gamer Tag, Piss on a D, Steamer D, Webby 317.
Sensei Switch.
Me, Rooski Doo.
Okay, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Mojo_INT. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/Mojo Interactive. You can find us on Discord. I'll put the link in the show notes. And that's it. So from all of us here, it's been great, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Oy.
Yeah,
Nice.
man. I might
That
play
went on a lot longer than I thought it was.
Yeah, for 3 people, man. I might
Yeah.
jump on some Neo.
You were saying
It's worth a play. It's fucking like bastard hard, that game at times.
Yeah,
I found the first 3 levels quite easy, and then I got to the 4th one, and it was like roadblock.
Yeah, I've heard it's quite
it's
hard,
like-
like Dark Souls.
isn't that like a Souls kind of
Yeah.
Souls type of game? Nah, it's not my bag. Not my bag.
No.
But cool.
Actually,
Yeah.
one of my big temper tantrums this year actually was fucking Nio, when I literally had to go like, no, I fucking can't. I'll fucking break something proper in a minute. Like off.
Have you found your tempers mellowed over the years though?
I don't know actually. It's up and down. It all depends. If something instantly starts talking shit to my face, then it just fucking. I do find myself just suddenly snapping.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, and getting a bit wild. But yeah, like more often than not, depending on certain things. It's like in Assassin's Creed, the only thing I actually got pissed off in that is the dickhead didn't fucking go the right direction I pushed, so he fucking fell off and done himself in like a tit. But apart from that, like most of the other time has been sort of like just general, like, oh yeah, you saw me, did me? Fucking die then, mate. Come here.
Nice.
It's pretty cool as well. You get multiple different weapons you can muck around with as well. Like you've got like spears, short swords, dual blades, like big heavy clubs, axes. The bows are quite funny though. The first time I had a bow, it was like a typical bow. You hold L and then hold R, and he pulls the string back, and then you move the reticle where you want and let go. And then I fucking got a new bow, and I was like, oh, this is way more damage and everything. It's much better. Cool. I'll switch to that bow. I'll break my old one down into materials for upgrade. Fucking went into a base, fucking pulled it out with L, went to pull the thing back, and I was like, hold on a second, why has he knocked 5 arrows? Why has he fired it instantly? And it's like, oh, there's multiple bow types as well, and this is a multi-shot fast bow. I was like, you fucking idiot. So I had like a shit bow for absolutely ages.
And you lost your decent one.
Yeah, I broke it down, and none of the shops were selling like the power charge bows or any of the other ones. The Predator bows, like the one where it zoomed in a little bit more. Everything, but you get less arrows for that, but it obviously does more damage. I think, but
Yeah, it looks good, man. I will check it out.
Yeah, but I will say check it out. But it is one of those where it's like you want to set yourself a few games aside to sort of like be like, right, I'll work on this for now.
Yeah.
Because I do that far too many times. I have like 3, 4, 5 games on the go, and I'll never finish any of them.
I just want to make a video of it running at like more than 60 FPS and send it to you. Just to be annoying.
Just to prove a point.
No, this was, it was literally something that I read from their thing, because they was talking about they put a new patch in to basically like sort some bits and bobs out on it.
Yeah.
But then again, when people say 4K 60 FPS, that could be 1440p. It could be like multiple versions of 4K, because 4K doesn't necessarily mean native 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah, upscaled and all that business.
At the end of the day,
does it matter?
upscale is perfectly fine anyway. To be
Yeah,
honest,
does it matter?
notice it looking crisper. I mean, hell, upscale 1080p still looks fairly sharp in comparison to standard 1080. It all depends how close you are to your telly.
Yeah, sitting right in front of it.
Yeah,
I
I've
know
got
it's
this
a bit of a
65-inch
difference,
4K screen, guys, and I sit up like someone nose is touching it. Oh, I can't see any pixels, guys. It looks awesome.
I have to turn my head to actually look around. It's like virtual reality, but for real.
Yeah.
It's like when I went to the cinema to watch Gladiator on I don't think it was IMAX screen then, but it was on the big widescreen, and I made the mistake of sitting in the front row, and I had to have someone else looking at the other corner so they could tell me what was going on over there.
Yeah.
Such a massive screen.
Awesome. Right, guys, I'm probably gonna jump off.
No worries.
It's getting late. Work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Got,
Well, thanks again for having me on.
That's cool, man.
Hope I wasn't boring as hell.
No, it's good, man. Good stuff.
Entertaining.
Good.
Just watching some
It's
Neo
good to mix it up
videos.
a little bit rather than have the same old. Because everyone plays different shit, you know what I mean? Having the same people on talk about the same games all the time, it gets a bit...
Yeah, so I think this community kind of guest type thing is, it's going to work well.
Well, we did it in before, didn't we, briefly? We had, like, Bestest Mates and a few other sort of, like, people coming on randomly, didn't we?
Yeah, it is hard to get people on, though, because I can be quite last minute at asking people.
Well, just if anyone's listening, they're worried about the tech like I was. I'm literally just on my phone.
Yeah, I'm using Skype on my phone with the Poundland fucking style PS4 headset shit. That's probably why I sound like crap. But
no, you sound fine.
I've just had it on loudspeaker, and I've just been using that.
There you go.
If it sounds all right, then don't anyone be scared of not having like equipment,
professional
and that kind of
setup.
stuff.
Yeah, it is good to obviously have the professional setups with the old like mouth things and stuff to stop the
like pop filters and all that.
That's what I've got.
All right, you got a pop filter.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture.
It's like a little radio studio, is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll put it on the Discord in a second for you.
I've seen quite a few podcasts that have like done like recorded on cam when everyone's got like boom mics with pop filters and fucking headphones and shit. We're going for it.
Well, for my headphones, I use the PlayStation Golds, just wirelessly on my PC.
Oh, right, that's
for
cool.
the actual headphones, and then I use my. I've got a really good mic. It's what's it called?
The
Snowball
one that looks like a
or something.
50s mic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen them going on there. They're
I'll send a better picture.
£100 or something.
Yeah.
Oh no. So yeah, I think worthwhile investment if it's something that you do.
Yeah.
Regularly, as you do. So.
The only downside is the actual day that your kid turns up, basically, is going to get fucking. That's when we're going to have a lot of shit to talk about that week.
Well, yeah.
Because it's obviously PlayerUnknown's out, so obviously there's going to be loads of people wanting to talk about that. You've got the Game Awards, and then on the same weekend, you've got the PlayStation Experience.
Nice.
Ooh.
Which is kind of cool. I quite like this little sort of like tidbits of info every couple of months, because we do see it does seem to be like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get a few little bits at the beginning of the year with like the CES and like the devs sort of thing going on. Then you get sort of like E3 a bit later. Then you've obviously got Gamescom. Then you've got like the Tokyo Game Show. Then you have like Eurogamer and
it's pretty well distributed.
Yeah,
man. Hopefully, I don't know about Eurogamer next year. I miss Eurogamer since it's been out of London. A couple of years that I came along.
Well, Well, I went this year and it was okay, just mainly for going out in the evening. But fuck me, Birmingham is a shithole.
That's it. We lost all our Birmingham listeners.
Sorry, guys, but it's true.
I made the pizza.
Yeah, whatever happened to Taz? It's not Birmingham, it's Solihull.
I think he's still around. He's on my friends list somewhere. I can't remember what gamer tag he goes under, actually. Nowadays, or PSN ID or whatever it was. I think he switched to PlayStation during the 360 to next gen era. Sort of thing. But yeah, I would like to go again because it was good fun and it was a good times and a good meet up and stuff. But yeah, well, strangely enough, I was watching some video the other day and it was basically someone talking about like game and basically them hoping to make a bit more money this Christmas over the fact of they've got new hardware sales, pushing stuff in like obviously the Switch and the X and stuff. And at the front of the queue, do you remember the weird Indian kid who was really enthusiastic and had like a fucking ninja bandana thing round his head?
Was his name Melvin by any chance?
No, it wasn't Melvin. There was another weird name he had for him, sort of a thing. But he was at the front of that picture as well. I was like, this dude turns up everywhere. Because I remember seeing him as well, grinning and whooping about that he bought Call of Duty one year, but he bought, I think it was like Call of Duty Ghosts on the PS4 or the Xbox One, but it was before the actual console was even out, because I know it actually launched before the actual consoles were out, like a week before it or something.
Weird.
I don't remember that. That's a fucking backwards way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you not play Call of Duty this week, Webby?
Nah. I've been too busy, mate. Doing stuff. Like working and stuff.
I've just totally gone off like first-person multiplayer shooters. Just completely lost the enthusiasm for them. They just all end up in the same kind of grind.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I remember back in the day that I fell in love with BioShock when it came out, because I was like, a first-person shooter in a fucking weird location. I'm in, you know what I mean, rather than
it's single player as well.
Yeah, it's modern shooter, boys. It's like army war stuff, boys. It was like, no, this is some weird sort of science fiction shit, like set in the 50s.
Yeah.
Speaking of BioShock, my gaming sharing person, he picked up the BioShock collection. Sales. I haven't played BioShock 2.
What?
I played 1 and 3.
2's good game. Just don't expect. It's just not as good as the first one. And there were parts of the multiplayer that I actually quite liked, but it was a bit tacked on. Like I've said before, years ago, that the way you chose your character, and you start off in your apartment, and you can walk around your apartment and sort of change your masks your character wears and your gun loadout and listen to like audio diaries to do with like the multiplayer stuff, and then you'd have to get into your own Bathish spear to sort of teleport to the map to begin the match. I thought all of that was a really cool idea and it was really well done. But the actual multi itself was just like a sort of slapped together sort of like your typical sort of like level up, get new guns, get overpowered, fuck off underpowered players. Because we used to do gamer nights on that back in the day. It was like me, Rubbish, Urban Big P, and Stunty, and we'd literally go in. And for the first few weeks, we was all right, and then after sort of like that, we'd leveled up a fair bit, and we'd had access to some pretty meaty guns. And in the end, we'd be just ending up in groups with noobs, and we'd just be like, "It's like just pummeling." Like absolutely pummeling them. And I used to be like, if that was me, I'd be screaming, I'd have batteries thrown against the wall, controllers stamped into the floor, sort of a thing. Like,
I'd be smashing the disc up, mate.
Yeah.
Rubbish. Wonder what he's up to now.
He's still about. I see him every now and again.
I see him on as well, but yeah, man.
See him on like one of the apps and stuff a lot of the time. He has been playing something recently, but I can't remember what it is because I keep seeing him popping up when he comes online. Actually saw him first time, I think it was like last year in real life, because he'd always cripple himself just before Eurogamer, so he'd never turn up. Sort of a thing. Like he'd fuck himself up skateboarding or something.
Yeah.
Are you doing the washing up or something?
Yeah, I'm doing the dishwasher. Something I would have usually done a while ago.
The dude's dreadlocks literally touched the floor.
Really?
Yeah. I think you saw that, Webby, didn't you, when he took his hat off?
Yeah.
And it's like literally almost touching the floor. Like,
Man, we need to do a meet-up. We need to do. I was gutted I missed the last one up in.
No one came to Eurogamer this year. It was just me.
That's because it's Birmingham, though. Sorry,
No.
Birmingham.
yeah.
That's because we're all southern softies, aren't we? We need to meet up in
That's
London.
true. That's true. Yeah, I missed the one where we went to the Kung Fu bar and Collie was over. I was
Oh,
gutted
that
with
was
that.
freaking awesome.
I was all ready to come out, but I had kid issues, so he was ill.
The only person who
couldn't turn
turned up was our number one fan.
Well,
Who's that?
Lobster.
No, Companion Cube.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's at the pub.
Yeah. Out of sort of like the non-podcast lot. Bit of a thing.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that, and I was scuppered at the last. It's the kind of thing you got to look forward to, Webby.
No, mate, it's what your wife's for, mate, you know?
Good luck with that one.
Oh, mate.
Oh,
Just
dear.
do the Velcro thing, Velcro them to their back or something, and just go, go, and off you.
Do you put your kid on a lead?
We thought about it, and we got a harness.
It's like walking a dog.
But yeah, but it just
I've been
it
on
just
a
seemed
lead.
a bit cruel.
Child.
It just seems a bit cruel, you know. So we never used it. Plus, he's a regular, so it'd be hard to keep him.
I mean, they
still
were
enough to get him in
good. Obviously, kids do wander off, and if you're walking with your kid, you don't want them like going too close to the road and all that sort of
Got
stuff.
to take your pooper scooper.
Until they know the
The pooper scooper.
green cross code and everything.
Don't forget that long stick you can lob tennis balls.
That's it.
Nah, seriously, you take this kid anywhere near a duck pond, you better make sure it's got a fucking fence on it. Took him to the local park and it's got no fence around the pond. It's so stressful.
All
Just
children
stopping,
lose their sense of
wading
balance.
in.
Their water.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Loves it. Anyway.
I will say though, Webby, if you do get the chance, get your kids swimming as early as you can. Well, quite early-ish.
Yeah. I second that.
I learnt to swim quite late, but apparently it's far easier to learn to swim when you're quite small.
Cool.
Yeah. Do it. All right,
Teach
guys.
them how to play Mario as well.
Ooh, yes. I've got the kid asking to watch the bike game now, so it gives me a couple of extra goes on trials. Yeah.
That
Just
helps
like,
patience as well.
bike.
Yeah, that helps
Alright.
with your patience because you can't really lose it then, can you?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of an enforced calm. Inside, I'm screaming.
Yeah.
Outside, you're throwing your controller at the TV screen.
I've even got a broken controller. It's not one that I threw, but I've got one where the one of the thumbsticks has gone off center, so it drifts all the time.
Oh,
So
when I pop down one of my mates' houses, I'll do that. He's like, "Have a go, mate," and I'm running along, and the controller's just listing to the left constantly.
Yeah,
And it's
so
like a shooter, so it was a fucking nightmare.
so that's my kid's controller now. So yeah, take the batteries out, just let him have it. My kids gaming with dad. That's how it starts.
Right, guys, I'm going to chip anyway. I shall catch you guys later.
Yep, see you
All right,
guys later.
guys.
Have a good one.
Good show. See you later.
Thanks all.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.